These are the sounds that Yahweasel makes when he starts streaming. Stream is go. 3 out of 4 of the platforms that nobody watches me on are working. The 4th out of the 4 platforms that nobody watches me on is sending data. Is it functioning yet? Stream status bad. That means it's good. Oh, wait. I don't think I turned back on YouTube chat. I should probably consider turning back on YouTube chat. Enable live chat. That might make some kind of difference. It's not likely, but it's mathematically possible. Let us open stream chat. Let me make sure I've actually unmuted the game, because being able to hear the game is like a step in the right direction. I don't know, maybe. That's the sound of the game. Anybody have a good chair recommendation? My chair from last week, like the chair that I broke last week, is still broken, and I replaced it with a chair that was already broken, so that's not an improvement. Maybe I need to just fix this chair. This chair is good, except that the, like, lean has absolutely no control. I think, basically, my problem with chairs is that I weigh 90k, and I feel like no chairs... I mean, I'm not that big. I weigh 90k, but, like, that, you know, chairs, they're pretty good at the, like, up to maybe 75k range. let me translate some of these into stupid digits. 75k is 165 pounds. 90k is 200 pounds, 198 pounds technically. So if you're, you know, a 200-pounder, you go through chairs. If you're a 200-pounder and you sit in chairs a lot, you destroy them. This chair, none of my chairs. I'm allergic to leather as a secondary complication. And so, like, the really good chairs, the proper chairs tend to be leather chairs, and I can't use them because they're leather. And then the crappy chairs are crappy chairs. And, like, this is top of the line, not leather chair, and I have destroyed it. It's bad. It's real bad. Time to announce the stream. Oh, my chair. I just have to constantly lean back because the chair, like, it's the forward back lean that doesn't work. I'm talking to no one. I mean, as usual, but I'm talking to no one. I give people a good 15 minutes to show up, and then nobody does. Or maybe they show up in that 15 minutes, and then go, well, he's not doing anything, and then leave. Maybe I shouldn't have a warm-up. Maybe I should just go. Maybe I should just start the stream at 2 p.m. and just go. Maybe I should start it at 1:58 or something, so at least I have time to notice if there's going to be technical difficulties like the chat issue a moment ago. But other than that, just go. Well, that time it actually did fade. Every other time it's been, yeah, it's been just blinking for some reason. Just noticing OBS behavior, what can I say? Controller in hand. The nice thing is that as this is a controller game, I can lean back. Speaking to literally no one. No one is going to watch this stream archive and hear my voice talking about this later. They'll skip past this part to the part where I'm actually playing the game. It's understandable. There's no reason not to. Then I unlist the stream archives after the all the episodes split from them have gone live, so it's a totally pointless exercise I'm doing right here. It's also, you know, you should exercise your voice before talking for a long period of time, particularly because when Let's Playing, I, you know, heighten the enthusiasm. It's not false, it's merely heightened, but gotta heighten the enthusiasm. And this, I can just sort of go to my natural, mostly vocal fry voice. Hello, this is Yahweasel, this is Radical Dreamers. I will always trill the R, I don't know why. And we have gotten into the treasure chamber on the second playthrough. I expect to find different things because everything has changed. Hello, Strixus in chat. An amazing sight is spread before our eyes. I don't quite know what to think of it. We're in some sort of treasure vault with piles of gold, silver, and other sparkling treasures stacked in piles. You already said that throughout the room. Then again, I already said all of this because I already read this paragraph. But that's not the half of it. Looking out towards the far end, an even more remarkable sight catches my eye. Halfway into the room, the piles of treasure turn into somewhat of a beach? Something of a beach. Sort of a beach, followed by a glistening ocean. It's all a huge diorama, with every single object crafted from gems or precious metal. Are huge and diorama, like, contraries to those? Don't those kind of, like, diorama implies not huge. The ocean, however, is perfectly calm. No, calm isn't the word for it, hyphen. It's as still as glass. Which, if it's a diorama, it could just be glass. Strixus in chat points out that diorama does not mean the opposite of huge at all. Most, and indeed, completely correct. I just say things. It's just... Most dioramas are small as a practical thing, not because it's the definition of diorama. Leave me alone! Stop persecuting me! The glistening sheen of every undulating white cap here seems to be frozen in time. Almost like they already have the Chrono Trigger stirred up like crystal valleys against the jade-like reefs of nearby islands. I walk out onto the beach, and Strix is mocking me in chat, and bend down to touch the unmoving water, but it's not frozen, just motionless. That doesn't tell me anything. Because if I... Like, these words, I guess what he's saying is that it doesn't feel cold, but what I want to get out of this is, does it feel like glass, or did you actually put your hand into the water? If it's motionless, then you shouldn't be able to put your hand into it, unless it's like a hologram. You've told me exactly too little to know what the hell you're talking about. A polished metallic siren, adorned with scales... adorned with scales of mica and hair of platinum, stands proudly on a nearby island, with a mysterious smile on its face and the radical dreamstone in its hand. Yes, that's what I'm going to call it now. In its lifelike hand, almost obscured by a crashing wave, which we couldn't be bothered to animate here, not animate, but show here, is an object of rare beauty. This stone, gripped tightly by the pearl-colored hand, seems as though it's capturing this ocean's stormy essence within its deep red center, and by red I of course mean magenta. Indeed, this is the object we've been seeking. Yet it's out of our grasp, if by only a small distance, seized within the hand of this suspicious-looking metallic contraption. So this is the point where I really need to know what you mean by the water being frozen in time. Can I walk on it? Will I go into it and drown? What is happening? Micah would be horrible with scales, it's brittle. I mean... It's only for effect, Strixus. It's not, you know, it's not meant to be body armor, maybe? Question mark? The Frozen Flame. This isn't the right music for the Frozen Flame. Give me the Frozen Flame music. There it is, Serge. Get your scaffold, kid shouts. Get your scaffold? Unable to suppress her highly strung heart any longer. However, I hesitate. There's more to this than meets the eye. Get your scaffold? We just carry scaffolds with us. It's really convenient. I tell myself as I glance at Magil. His eyes tell me the same. Let's go for it. I take the bamboo scaffold out of my bag. When did I have a bamboo scaffold? I was really prepared ahead. The Oriental Monosotilodon it's crafted from is extremely light, durable, and elastics? Oh, is that... Is that a comma? Oh, the comma is mixing in with like a bit of her hair effect. I was really confused. It looked like a subscript S. Perfect for travel. I place it on the ground and we go to work assembling the bridge-like structure. Why do we carry a scaffold with us? I stand back after a few moments, looking at the finished product spread out on the beach. Kid tests it by stepping on it lightly, then adding a little bit more weight, till she finally stands on it firm. It appears solid enough. I nod to Kid as Magil and I take the scaffold and swing it over to the small island, connecting the two pieces of land together. I still don't understand what's going on with the water at all. I let out a deep, shaky breath as Kid takes her first step out. The scaffold gives a little, but stays afloat. It's not floating! What are you talking about, a float? The siren maintains its ominous stare as Kid approaches. The distance between the two closes with each passing step. Before long, she reaches the reef and is within arm's reach of the flame. Come on, take it, I whisper, my fists clenched. She reaches out ever so slowly. Her head turns from the flame to the siren's face and back as her hand draws closer and closer. I like how we've just assumed this is a siren. I believe the original sirens of mythology had bird legs. Like, they're often depicted in about 1 trillion different ways, but, like, the actual original statement of them, they had bird legs, and that's not what I'm seeing here at all. Those deep, aquamarine eyes, also known as orange, remain vacant and still. I mean, so there is some drama to the, like, not everything is drawn, some of it is just text, but, like, if you're only going to draw certain things, maybe match what you say to what you draw. Maybe. I can see a little bit of aquamarine in them, but it looks like a glint of aquamarine on orange eyes, not a glint of orange or like a glow of orange on aquamarine eyes. But wait, no! The siren is starting to move! Kid, get out of there! It's coming to life! But Kid's already on her way back with the frozen flame in hand. Well, that explains why it came to life. The churning of the siren's metallic innards increases, getting louder and louder by the second. The sound rips through my eardrums as I watch its movements become more and more fluid. Just as the siren starts to move, the ocean comes to life as well. Somehow the waves start to churn and toil, gaining increasing vigor and momentum the more the siren awakens. I mean, the frozen flame, it has something to do with time and time travel. It's sort of frozen this whole area. I agree 100%. The siren turns and takes a step towards Kid, who's now back on the scaffold. She's having trouble maintaining balance above the now violent body of water as it crashes and bubbles mere inches beneath her feet. And she doesn't know how to swim, and given that this was like a sandbank, it's probably about, 1 foot deep at most. Why did they go that high up the clade list? Is it made of wheat? Why not call them... you're outside of my pay grade, Strixus. Pursued by this relentless inorganic beast. Is it pursued? You haven't said it moved yet. I mean, you said it, moved, but not actually changed its location. She desperately tries to make her way home. By home, I mean to the beach that isn't her home. Oh no, Kid slipped on a wet spot. She falls into the water head first with a splash. The surging waves splash all around her, mercilessly thrashing all around. This is a very violent ocean. The siren starts to come for Kid, trudging ever so slowly into the white-capped frenzy. A sudden wave smashes into Kid, and after it recedes, I can't even see her head anymore. Please, God, don't let her drown. I see her hand emerge a few seconds later, desperately reaching out, trying to grab onto something. Maybe you? I have to save her. Distract that siren, anything. Suddenly a flash flies through the air. It's Magil. He's shooting his silver needles at the siren, which means now save Kid. One of them hits it directly between the eyes. Platinum-colored blood starts to gush out of the hole. So by blood, you mean Quicksilver? Yeah, that's pretty much what I had in mind, Strixus, and this is not that, nor is it even like a metallic representation of that. This is what we call a metallic human. However, it does nothing to stop the unrelenting robotic beast. Now only a few feet from Kid, its mouth begins to open to an unnatural extent, like that of a gigantic snake. Damn it, what am I gonna do? Let's save kid. I dive in without a moment's notice. I try to open my eyes underwater. It's salt water to find kid, but the instant I do, I'm forced to shut them from the salty sting of seawater. Duh! Coming up from air, I try to find kid among the vigorously crashing waves. She's a ways ahead of me, bobbing in and out of the water. I have to be quick. Swimming over to where I last saw her, a hand suddenly floats up to the surface of the water. I grab on and pull with all my might, but it's the siren! The hand is rotted away below the wrist, however. Corpses suddenly start to emerge all around me. These half-rotten, waterlogged bodies should be dead and lifeless, but somehow they're all coming for me, trying to pull me under. I quickly dive underwater, because that's the thing to do when you're being pulled underwater. Swimming as fast as I can away from the back of bodies. I come up for air, spotting kid just a few feet in front of me. She's spitting water out of her mouth, only moments away from drowning. Is that a thing that happens moments away from drowning? Okay. Kid, come on, hurry! I grab her hand and dive deep underneath the stormy water, because when someone's drowning, what you want to do is drag them underwater. Swimming away, I accidentally bump into one of the corpses. Just as I feel all of them start to crowd around us, I unsheath my knife and blindly hack away. Clinging tightly to Kid's hand and hacking it off as well, I swim and swim until I can't hold my breath any longer, and Kid's dead. Coming up for air, I realize we've made it. I take her up into my arms and carry her ashore. She's barely conscious. Well, that worked. We got it. Or if she's still holding it. Ugh. Lying next to me, Kid coughs a bit, spitting up seawater. I try to calm her down, and after a few moments, she rests peacefully on the glittering beach. Suddenly, I notice something. It's quiet. Perfectly quiet. I look up, wondering what just happened. She dropped the frozen flame. The ocean has reverted back to how it once was, perfectly still, like a slice in time once again. Corpses are nowhere to be found. The siren has resumed its original post, subtly perched on the far island, with that mysterious smile once again streaked across its face. Oh, never mind, she has it, and here's the Frozen Flame music! I love all the music from this game. After a few moments, Kid holds the frozen flame up over her head, staring into its shimmering beauty. Well, we got what we came for. She's right. I stand up and shake myself off, relieved it's all over with. I help her to her feet, eager to get out of here. That can't be it. From the treasure vault, we actually have to leave? Okay. I mean, if we're just leaving, then yeah, definitely head towards the terrace. After a little while, we come to a door on the left. The terrace lies ahead. Why would we do any of that? Go to the terrace! We have the... Just ahead of me, I bump into Kid, who's come to a complete stop. Looks like we're gonna need to have one more battle first. Something's wrong, mate. Stop my breath trying to listen for anything. Gimme skeletons! Clunk, clunk, that's not skeletons. I think that's orcs. Something's ahead of us on the path. Whatever it is, it's coming for us. I nervously unsheath my knife, trying to ignore my anxiety for this inevitable confrontation now only moments away. Oh, it's a skeleton! Yay! Quick, what do we do? Look for a weak spot! Raises its arms overhead, staring out with a strange look out of its eyes. Magil suddenly stops dead in his tracks. Magil, snap out of it, I shout, but his eyes are totally glazed over, completely unaware of the situation. Attack! Start to bolt towards the gruesome creature, avoiding the deadly slash with a rusty sword. I aim a kick for the skeleton's midsection, and with that, the skeleton breaks in two, toppling down to the ground. We've already seen this battle. I don't know why I'm doing it. Well, that was fun. That was one of the 2 skeleton battles. Magil's having problems. He's dazed, but he's fine. I'm getting a hang of this fighting thing. I'm barely hurt at all. You're getting there, mate. Ready for what's next? Wait a sec, what's that? Bend down and pick up a small leather sack and heal myself in a way that I don't need to. I was fine. Oh wow, I feel great. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I assumed there was going to be an event when we got to the terrace, otherwise they would have just ended it there. The terrace isn't here. Shouldn't the terrace be here? We've been walking long enough, but somehow the walls seem to extend on without any end in sight. You're just shook up from what happened back there, mate, Kid says. Come on, the terrace is right up here. No, that wood handrail with a big knot in it. I remember it clearly. We just passed it a minute ago. We're going in circles. Circles? What alone? We're walking on a straight path. Can't you see it? She shouts, pointing down the dark corridor. See? Straight! I know, kid. I don't know. I mean, turning back is just gonna get us... We can keep going straight for a while. Here it is again. The same knot. But this time it's going to explode! This is bloody ridiculous. Why do we come all the way out here? For this? Look at this. We can't even find our way out of a blasted house. Kid's going into hysteria. I wish somebody would, take that kettle off the stove. I wish I could do something, but to be honest, I'm not that much better off right now. This is friggin' crazy. We're going in circles. We never should have come out here. We never should have done this. We're lost, goddammit. What are we supposed to do now? Look, kid, nobody needs all the yelling, I say, frustrated. Who asked you, you lame-brained sack of... Suddenly, Magil comes up from behind us and touches us on the back of our necks. Then we die. I don't know what he's doing, but it instantly calms me down, and by the looks and sounds of it, Kid as well. I lean against the wall for a second, trying to think of what to do. Kid stoops down, miserable. We are being... It's the best voice for Magil. We are being toyed with, Magil says. Look closely, down the center of the hallway. See how the walls subtly warp? This is all an illusion of some sort. Apparently, someone or something does not want us to advance any further. Well, woo! She almost cursed there. Frickin'lations, Lynx. You got us walking in circles. Bet you're mighty proud of yourself. So now what are you gonna do? Play some more games or fight like a man? Frustrated, she storms down the hallway once again and presumably comes back the other way. Damn it, when's this bloody passageway gonna end? The terrace is nowhere to be found. Okay, let's turn back. We make our way down the mirrored passageway. Okay, so we can go back easily enough. That's interesting. Let's try going in here, seeing if we find a friend. Room is quiet except for the sounds of the gears. There's no sign of the hood lady anywhere. Hello? Ma'am? Well, if you're not here, say so, you old hag. Silence is deafening. Okay, so much for that. Heading left will not take us to the terrace, as we have already discovered. This is interesting, because last time, the mansion itself was fairly consistent, but, Strixus points out the illogic of, Kid's statement, but, kid gonna kid. The last time the mansion was fairly consistent, but you had a lot of sort of weird puzzles to do. Now it's gonna be, Howl's Moving Castle. Get on the lead, we ascend the narrow staircase. Cracked stone seems to endlessly twist upwards. It feels like we're headed up to a scaffold to be executed, because usually they put execution scaffolds in extremely tall towers. I already made that joke. Oh, there's a faint voice coming from the other side of the door, says Kid. I fear the worst. Maybe we should check somewhere else, I say. What's the matter, you chicken? She says, while glancing at me. But I can tell by the sound of her voice that she isn't feeling much better about this than I am. Something wrong about this place, and we all know it. Yeah, but also I have nowhere else to go, so... Small room, one you'd find in a stone tower, very much like the stone tower we're in and found it in. It's empty and I can't find a single window in it. The hell kind of room is this? As she's trying to hide it, I notice a shiver running down Kid's spine. There may be something of use here. Let us search more closely, Magil says quietly. You really think we'll find something? Huh. Kid proceeds to the middle of the room while I examine the walls and floor. The stone floor is filled with countless scratches, covered by splotches of a dry, dark ink. Hey, Magil, would you come over here, please? Something is carved into the wall here. I think it's an inscription of some sort. Some of this is the same as it was before, but some of it is different, so I'm just gonna read it all. Magil kneels down in front of the wall and examines the writing. Looking closer at it, it appears to be written in blood. Indeed, this text has been worn down with age. Most of it is unreadable. Yep, this is the same. Won't last much longer. Acacia Dragoons. The enchanted sword ordered to proof. Well, this is familiar. Door slammed shut. Taken by surprise. And we gotta bust down the door. Let's try not to die! I remember how I didn't die last time. We busted down the door. We just, like, elbowed it a lot. There's no time to lose! Try to ram the door! Let's send the smallest person first, then the second largest person, then the largest person, then consider working together. Together! The door hinge gives, we stumble outside and discover that the hinge is exactly where it always was, and it was actually the latch that gave. The game is a liar. Finally, the grinding sound fades away. Seems the ceiling has stopped. Damn that Link's toying with us like that. So this is the torture chamber. Yeah, this is all the same. Acacia Dragoons, they were once elite and whatever, and blah blah blah, Lynx ate them. I mean, for lack of anything else to do, sure, let's go back into the treasure chamber. The siren and its menacing smile welcome us back to the treasure vault just as we left it. Although this time, the frozen flame is in our hands. Let's go. This place is bugging me out, Kid says after a moment, exiting before I can even say anything. We follow her out. Okay, so much for that idea. Well, we have now gone everywhere. So, I think I just need to keep on walking down the infinite corridor, because that's the only option I haven't really investigated fully. I mean, it's possible that something will just change, but... Continue! Oh. Ew. Okay, so we're back here now. So it's just that the terrace vanished. Not anything else. Maybe when we went through the cathedral that turned into an elevator, everything changed. We continue through the passageway. After a while, we arrive at a beautifully decorated set of double doors. The cathedral. Totally silent doors. Yeah, let's, I have a feeling about something. There are ellipses floating in the air! Just as before, this strange markings shine with a dull, somber light in the center of this dreary, forgotten room. The designs in here indicate this is to be used for a kind of resurrection ceremony. I'm not sure what these symbols mean here, though. Kid and I glance at each other, wondering how much longer we'll have to stay down here before Magil's ready to go. There must be some explanation for this, somewhere in this mansion. Let us search elsewhere. We scamper back up the stairs and out of the cathedral. Okay, that might have been critical in that it might have sort of set something else going. But it looks like I don't have a lot of other places to go. I could go to the study. We didn't really do anything successfully there, but this particular playthrough. Okay, so much for that. Then down the stairs we go. Just fast forwarding a bit because this is stuff we've seen, but only the passageways. Something is bound to have changed. I mean, the whole archway situation was totally different. Then again, we haven't really done anything with the passageway yet. This time it turned into a maze. Oh, this is the room Kid saw something strange in. Okay. Returning to this rundown room, we find nothing has changed since our last visit. Okay, thanks, Magil. Maybe next time. Until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, I've got thousands more. Just click that channel button. Cheers from Yahweasel. I'm confused, but it's almost as if this game is designed for you to be confused. Your budget for chairs. Often. I mean, honestly, my budget is probably pretty high for chairs, judging by the fact that I'm getting mighty tired of going through chairs. See, like, I look at this, and I see that headrest, and I think to myself, is that headrest leather? Because it sure looks... Oh, it's an optional headrest. Okay. The other thing is, like, I don't know how much I like the idea of buying a chair unbutted. Like, if I haven't sat in the chair. But then again, I keep destroying chairs after sitting in them, so... Hello, this is Yahweasel. We're lost. We're lost is what we are. Let's continue towards Lynx's quarters. I have no anticipation of this doing anything, but here we go. What's that strange look on your face for, mate?
I don't know, I don't have a good feeling about this place. Scoob.
Come on, mate. You never have a good feeling about anything.
It's just after what we thought with the...
After what we went through with the
treasure vault and all. I don't know, maybe I'm just being a worrywart.
Well, you sure you wanna keep on going? Kid asked with an unusually serious face. As opposed to what? We're trapped now. We have to do something. Somehow I found myself nodding silently, ignoring the warnings in my head. There's no... Are you sure you want to keep going? No, I'll just kill myself now. Let me just get out my dagger. Okay, that's a much easier end than actually doing... You don't have an option. I remember something someone told me a while ago about this place. Could you have made that sentence more confusing? Everything in that mansion answers to Lord Lynx, he said. The creatures, the walls, the statues, everything. If you understand the concept of power by fear and control, then you understand Lynx. Magil strokes his chin, calmly examining the gigantic doors before us. There's bound to be something important in here. These dark mahogany doors tower above us, emanating an unmistakable sense of intimidation. All set, I ask, and in we go! As expected, these are Lynx's quarters, or should I say, were. Staring at the sight before our eyes, all I can do is gasp in silence. Half surprised. Oh, is he gonna be dead? Half surprised, half terrified. To put it simply, Lynx is quite certainly in this room. However, not as we expected. Lynx's corpse has been hastily stashed in the couch on the far end of the room. Only his mangled hand is visible, sticking out from beneath a cushion. Oh, that okay. It took me a second. It's actually stashed in the couch. Got it. Kid goes over and slowly lifts up one of the cushions. Was not expecting this. I don't know if it's the smell or the sight that makes her gag, but yes, it's definitely Lynx under there. I never expected any of this when I came here tonight. I mean, rumors of Lord Lynx's reign have been going around as strong as ever, although when I think about it, his reputation alone could probably carry on such a regime. Wonder how long it's been since this happened. Well, I mean, the flesh is mostly still flesh, so not that long. It can't be. A genocidal, terror-driven maniac. He burnt the temple and abducted Shay. How can he be dead already? I wanted my revenge, Kid mutters. Oh, that wasn't really a mutter, but whatever. Tears swelling in her eyes. Shay. Where have I heard that name before? From her. Earlier, she said it. She said that name. She's the one that said it before. You've heard it from her. No one knows Lynx is dead except for us. We must be the first ones to find out about it. Heh, or maybe not, Kid adds. Okay, apparently I said that first part. Her attempts at humor only succeeds in causing my feelings of dread to grow even stronger. Clearly, we're not the first ones, because he didn't stash his own corpse, did he? Strange. Magil kneels down and lifts off the cushions, examining the corpse as though he was a coroner. Hey, I always liked a nice firm seat, Kid says, pretending to sit down on it. That's weird and gross. Enough with the bad jokes already, Kid.
This corpse has no life essence,
Magil continues. Isn't that how corpses usually are? I ask.
Generally, yes. When a person dies, one's consciousness, or spirit, is separated from the body. Normally, as the spirit leaves the body, the corpse will crumble over time.
Ah.
However, in this case, the corpse is aged, but it has not even started to crumble at all yet. It is merely without moisture.
Lynx's spirit has not been released. Not yet been released.
So that means...
Yes.
His spirit is still here, probably somewhere within this mansion.
Magil seems unusually disturbed by all this. First the phantom, then that whole siren thing, now this. Even he's having trouble keeping his cool. We're in over our heads.
Lynx was apparently slain by a blade,
Magil says, pointing to a gash in his belly. Looking around, he finds the murder weapon. It's a bloody sword, stashed behind a chair. An Acacian sword! Interesting! The dragoons! They got their revenge! Magil tries to remain focused, racking his brain for information.
A body and its spirit have been detached in this matter. The body will yearn for its spirit, will transform into a sort of bottomless well, endlessly seeking spirit until it finds its own.
What does that have to do with us? Oh, Kid says solemnly. Something's happening. This room, no, this whole house, all around us, the walls are starting to creak. There's something in here, waiting for us. I can feel it on the back of my neck. I whip around with my knife ready, but nothing's there. Suddenly, something grabs my arm. Oh, no, get it off of me! I whip around again, but it's only Kid. And a grip, mate, it's just me! We've got the flame. Lynx is dead. Why do we even need to be here anymore? Come on, let's go. Because we're trapped. Did you forget the part where we couldn't find the terrace and leave? She shouts. She's right. Screw this place.
If we can get out of here at all,
Magil adds, standing up. And then the walls begin to creak again. We look around. The lights flicker. Don't go out. Please, God, don't go out. Kid? We instantly whip around. The voice is coming from the mirror. Finally, you have come. That girl, the one from before, it's her. She's here, faintly floating within the mirror. Do you know her, kid? Shay? Is that you? Kid says, gazing at the faint apparition with desperate eyes. I take another look at the girl, barely visible in the reflection. It seems she's saying something, but it's too faint to make anything out. What are you saying? I ask, taking a step closer. Pain. Awful. Awful pain. So... I welcome your souls. Oh, they put on the tea kettle again! A gigantic hand suddenly materializes out of the mirror, grabbing at me. Magil instantly pulls me back, and the tea kettle is taken off the heat just as the huge hand is about to seize me. If not for Magil's lightning-quick instincts, who knows what would have happened. Probably the same thing that almost happened last time. That mirror's a problem. I'm at a loss for words. All I can muster out is, thanks, Magil. Thank you. I can't tell how many close calls I owe to him. All of a sudden, a deep, booming laugh echoes all around us. That bastard, it's Lynx! I know it's him, Kid says, looking around. The laugh grows louder and louder. A light begins to shimmer from Kid's backpack. Opening it up, she takes out the frozen flame, staring at it as it shines brighter and brighter before our eyes. Suddenly, a flash of crimson light bursts out from it in all directions. As this happens, the ominous laughing continues to get louder and louder. Kid's being put under some sort of spell. Her body rises off the floor, motionless, as the stone continues to shine, brighter and brighter. Magil, what's going on? Magil closes his eyes and begins muttering something. Before long, he unleashes a surging aura, arcing directly towards Kid. A sombering red glow casts its light on everything in the room. The laughing is distorted, and the stone's sparkle begins to lessen. Is she okay? I ask, but I get no response. It seems Magil's suppressing the spell. He's having trouble maintaining it, though. Serge, take her now! I can't hold it off for much longer. I'm so glad I gave him such a good voice. I grab Kid and rush her outside. Rush her outside the dreadful blood-red room. Looking at her, she's white as a ghost. In her trembling hand, she holds a steadfast grip on the frozen flame. Magil meets up with us a moment later, looking completely exhausted. Kid? Hey, Kid! Where am I? In that comfortingly familiar voice, Kid slowly starts to recover.
Where do you think you are?
Magil asks. 7. Good to have you back, Kid. I'll never understand these two. What was that all about, Magil?
I do not know. I've rarely seen magic of such a kind. The luminescent seal we saw earlier beneath the cathedral had a similar structure.
There has to be some sort of connection. What? How are these different options? Let's get out of here. We're at the end of a one-way corridor. Getting out of here is going down the corridor. Well, we know we can't actually get out of here, so let's not say something stupid. Let's go to the cathedral again. Heading back, we travel through the passageway, eager to shake this feeling of dread. After walking a ways, we come to a beautifully decorated set of doors on the left. I don't see a reason to enter this right now. Oh, time for a battle! Try to look for something. Oh, it's gonna be another skeleton. We only fight skeletons! Radical skeletons! Ram it! Catch it off guard! Then it's going to throw its skull! I've seen this battle before! Suddenly the skeleton hurls its head at me! Catch it! Smash it! Catch and smash! That's how you deal with skeletinas. Okay, bye! That was easy. Only because I've done it 100 times. I'm barely hurt at all. You're getting there, mate. Let's take the stairs. I would fast forward this, but we actually don't have that far to go. We're never gonna get out of here. People have probably been trapped here for their whole lives or longer. Relax, mate. We have enough food to last us a while. Funny. That didn't really relax me very much. Kid's acting strange. That girl. I know it has something to do with that girl, but what could it all mean? Yeah, I had not a lot of experience with it before playing it just now, Joel. You are seeing the... So this game, like, each playthrough offers different plots. You're seeing the second playthrough of it, so you can catch the first playthrough on livestream archives or the videos when they go up. But you don't really need to see the previous ones. It's just, it's very odd, and it's unclear in some ways how it connects to Saga Frontier, how it connects to Chrono Trigger. I want to ask Kid, but now's not the right time. Ah, why not? Hey, about that robe.
It is the official congregational robe of the Temple of Four Spirits,
Magil instantly says. Must have been on his mind as well. The Temple of Four Spirits. Isn't that where you were raised, Kid? Yeah, they took us in, all us orphans. Seems to be a hard subject for her. I can understand why. She always seems to be so moved by this. While Kid is lost in thought, Magil takes me aside and explains the rest to me alone. I think I'm done with his weird voice. I'm gonna give him a more dignified voice. Kid, still a child at the time, was raised by the Holy Sisters in their temple. However, one day, one of the sisters was summoned to Lynx's mansion. Kid waited day after day, but the sister did not return. Yeah, the connection to Chrono Cross is sometimes dubious, Joel. Like, they use a lot of the same characters, but it's unclear whether this is supposed to be canonical within Chrono Cross or even within itself. After some time had passed, Kid secretly sneaked out of the temple, determined to find out what had happened. She made it almost all the way to Viper Manor, alone and unprepared. She was still just a child, after all. But then she heard an explosion back in the direction of her hometown. She looked back and saw fires everywhere, engulfing the only home she had ever knew. I was going to say she had ever known and misread. Someone had set fire to her entire village, including the temple. Forgetting the mansion for the time being, she ran back to town, but Kid was the only survivor. I mean, being a survivor by not being there means you're not the only survivor, you were just not in the... whatever. Back then, I was a regular visitor to the temple. One day, I came to where the town had been, and came across this sight. All the village had been burnt to the ground, and there appeared to be no survivors. But following my intuition, I searched and searched. No, Bit. It's not a tsunami, it's a fire. Yeah, exactly, Joel. You were fortunate not to be there, but you didn't actually survive the incident because you weren't involved in the incident. I guess she was the only survivor of the town. That kind of follows. And there, among all the cinder and bodies, crouched a tiny, trembling little girl. After I took Kid under my wing, it was an entire year before she spoke again. Thanks, I didn't want to read that anyway. Come on, no sense in backing out now, Kid says all of a sudden, interrupting I was about to say Magil in the middle of his explanation. That was weird. I take a deep breath as we come to the towering set of doors. It's too bad I can't read. Kid gives a push and they creak open slowly. We walk up to the organ, pressing the white and black keys together. The heart beating inside of the organ is even louder than before. I retract my hands as soon as I press the key. Again, I didn't want to read this at all. The wall begins to rumble and the secret door opens. Staircase winds down into darkness. Come on, no sense waiting around all day, Kid says, heading down the cold damp staircase. Magil and I follow her down into the Forgotten Lair. It's Ellipses Land again! The place where the ellipses reign! Why are there ellipses floating there? Suddenly, as if it awakened... Let me just try that again. Suddenly, as if awakened by our being here. The magic... Why is Serge standing with his legs so far apart? Magic seal grows stronger and stronger, giving off a terrifying shaking tremor as its radiance intensifies, filling the room with its aura. It just makes me want to do the splits! Despite our situation, I can't help but be caught up in the spectacle of it all. Look at that 16-bit SNES spectacle! However, at its core, he's here. Lynx. Kid's tone is as though she's speaking the name of death itself. This man, no, this thing, Viper Manor's deadly master, the originator of all this torment. Lynx! Kid calls out to Lynx, her eyes as ravenous as a hawk's as she grips her knife tight. Lynx's image wavers silently in the air, apparently undisturbed. Kid, on the other hand, sets aside her peace of mind, calling forth the fury of maddening vengeance. I mean, this area just is graphical glitch, Godvin, yes. Yeah, that's right, SNES power at its finest. It's weird, this game sometimes takes, like, heavy advantage of SNES technologies, but most of the time it's so just text. It's an odd sort of combo. I like it. I don't dislike this game at all, really. Link starts to speak out, but ironically, in a meek and comforting tone. The frozen flame. Please, return it here, young girl. Yeah, right! You think I'm gonna listen to a bastard like you? At that moment, Kid reaches into her pocket. Moments later, she pulls out the glowing... Why? Why would you do this? Give it to me. Okay, let me get it out of my pocket just to emphasize how I'm not going to give it to you. How about instead keep it in your pocket where it's safer? Shimmering red, again magenta, but whatever, we don't know colors. Light streaks out between her fingers as she holds the frozen flame high above her where it's the easiest to snatch out of the air. Yes, Lynx continues, it is my spirit. Please, you must help me. I mean, basically, Joel, yeah, I like, there's a lot of plot elements that were reused and a lot that weren't, and it has a lot of the same characters, but it's a visual novel. It's a weird thing. Your spirit, Kid asks. Lord Lynx's image pleads with Kid in a pitiful manner. Please, hear me. I, too, was once on a quest. Struck down by the blade of an evil assassin, I failed to reach my goal. Through the power of the secret ancient arts, I was barely able to secure my spirit within the frozen flame. Just barely. In this meager remaining existence, I am helpless, bound to this magic seal before you. Please, return the flame to me. I am helpless without it. Pity, Kid says. I'm sure you know all about pity. Do you ever show any of those people you maimed any pity? Kid's eyes return to their hard stare. You expect us to believe you? You, the bastard who tortured countless people? Death isn't good enough for the likes of you, she shouts, squeezing the flame tighter and tighter until she breaks it like glass in her hands. Please, pity me, the faint apparition pleads. Kid. Wait, please. I don't know who's saying this. Kid suddenly stops dead in her tracks, hearing that voice. It wasn't Lynx's voice. You! No! Lynx shouts out. Lynx's apparition bends and contorts, blurring like a sweltering heat until... Another figure starts to overlap his image. It's that girl. She's fighting to come through, wrestling with Lynx. Please... You must not trust him. Do not lend any more help to his revival, the girl says, painfully twisting and turning within the seal. Revival? Revival, of course. I understand the seal's meaning now, Magil adds. This seal, it's for a seance, an anti-spirit seance. by consuming others' spirits, Lynx breaks the seal by which he is kept from returning to the physical world, bit by bit. Consuming other spirits? Oh, but consuming other spirits. It all makes sense now, Magil says. The flame, put right out in the open, was meant for us to take. It all points to this being one huge trap. There must have been others like us, thieves who had come looking for the flame, Magil continues. They took it, but then found themselves unable to escape. Yeah, Lynx must have pounced on them through the flame when they least expected it, just like what happened to Kid in Lynx's room. Lynx just didn't count on someone like Magil who was able to counter his evil magic. There must be no one left alive in this entire mansion. They've all been consumed by Lynx. All those corpses we saw. How many have died, never to have even gotten this far? Shay. Beside me, I hear Kid say that name again. Shay, it's you. It's you. Kid. Never heard Kid's voice take on such a soft tone. Good thing I'm giving her such a respectful voice. No, I wouldn't call it soft, hyphen. It's more of the kind of tone a child clings to her mother with. Now I remember, one of the sisters of the temple where Kid was raised was named Shay, if I'm not mistaken. Gee, congratulations on putting together the pieces of that puzzle, idiot. Really gave us all the information before, but yeah, you've managed to figure it out. Shay, it's me, Kid. Yes, my kid. My precious little kid. What a fantastic woman you have grown into. Get out of my mind! Lynx shouts out from inside the seal. Lynx shouts out from inside the seal. He forces his face through Shay's belly as they begin to painfully wrestle with each other once again. Kid, Shay continues, painfully overcoming Lynx. Thank you for remembering me. However, I cannot return with you. Please hear me. The frozen flame must be destroyed. It is through this that Lynx is able to slowly resurrect himself. Please, destroy it and save yourselves. I will restrain Lynx in the meantime. But no, you can't. Come back with me. Kid, just as headstrong as ever, Shay says, with a wide smile across her face. I must fall with Lynx. I am bound to his fate. You see, I am burdened with this crime. Ivan, my father's blood runs just as thickly through my veins. Oh, good, original sin. That's a nice concept for this game. Father? Sensing his own impending death, Lynx made preparations for revival before he was slain, Shay says painfully, barely able to restrain Lynx's mortal hatred. This anti-spirit seance he prepared was designed to feed off other spirits in exchange for adding to his own rejuvenation. Shay's eyes take on a somber glow. To invoke the seance, he needed a blood relative to consume first. Yes, Kid. I was born unto him illegitimately. I am his daughter. Kid's face turns to that of utter shock hearing this. The moment that dragoon slew Lynx, I felt my spirit being sucked into this spot, consumed within his seance. But he did not stop there. All my people met the same fate. Not even this was enough, however. He continues to greedily lure unsuspecting visitors of Viper Manor to this very day, hoping to consume more and more spirits, so that he may one day cross back over. This insidious crime, it must be stopped, she concludes. Mortified, Kid is unable to say a word. Thank you for hearing me. The truth is known, finally. Now please save yourself, my precious little kid. Kid takes a deep breath, staring at the shiny jewel she's been seeking for so long. I choose to end it, she says solemnly. Place it on the ground before you, says Magil. Kid does so, and not long after, Magil's thick voice begins to echo out an incantation. Looking over at him, an arc of magic streaks out from his fingertips towards the flame. The scarlet jewel takes on a strange dark color as it begins to hum louder and louder. Oh, was it the jewel itself, the frozen flame, that kept on whistling like a teapot? Shay smiles upon seeing this. Thank you. Thank you for setting me free. I've waited a century for this moment to put an end to... I, Magil. I've waited a century for this moment to put an end to Lynx, Magil says, smiling broadly. That doesn't seem very Magil. And now it is finished. As the flame continues to grow darker and darker with its new hollow, gray aura, Magil shouts, Serge, take cover and hold Kid to you! The flame is losing stability! It's turned into a teapot again! As it releases its steam pressure, it slowly just, fizzles out, and it's not that exciting, actually. I can't remember what happened next very clearly. But this music came back. So that's pretty cool. The magic seal's radiance. Lynx's contorted screams. Magil invoking his magic. Shay's comforting smile. And a tear rolling down Kid's cheek because she didn't get the thing she wanted to steal. Also maybe because she got closer with Shay, but then probably because she didn't get the thing she wanted to steal. When I come to, I find that I'm lying on the ground, holding Kid tightly to me, rubbing the soot out of my eyes. How long have I been lying here, actually? Our clothes have been tattered, and our bodies have sustained more than their fair share of bruises. But we're all right. Looks like Magil was thrown over to the opposite end of the room. He lies there. Who is he laying there? Is he there having sex with somebody? Because lay is kind of a transitive verb. The translators did such a goddamn good job, but then that one word... I'm an ass. He lies there silently, exhausted of energy, fast asleep. I pick up my head to glance over to where the flame was, and it's gone. There's no trace of Shay or Lynx either. Strixus points out the fact that, there's corpses there. He could be laying in the corner, and we just don't want to judge that. I sleep and sleep and sleep. The moon rises for a second time, and finally I feel like I have the strength to get up. I nudge Kid, who's still groggy, as I sit up on the stone-cold floor. Joel in chat points out, let's be real, laying is never silent. Ain't that the truth? All this, what do you have to show for it? Nothing, I think to myself, remorsefully. But then I glance at Kid and realize that's not entirely true. Walking through the forest, wilderness... Let me just wait for this to finish typing out. I look back over my shoulder to the towering mansion one last time. The stars are surprisingly multicolored. Finally, Viper Manor is at peace. Walking beside me, Kid gulps painfully as she looks down at her hand, tracing the outline of where she once grasped the legendary frozen flame so tightly. Closing her hand, she moves on. Fiend! Give me that fiend! Close the book! And so the curtain closes on another tale. However, another time, after the spotlight had faded from Kid, Magil, and Shay, in another place and another time, a similar band of adventurers had come forth, equally unsuspecting of their other selves, and life went on as they strode out into the great unknown. But that's a story for another episode! For now, I shall put down my pen. As I softly close my grandfather's diary, I hear my mother's voice call to me from downstairs. Didn't you hear me? Your friend is here! I turn around already knowing who it is. My door opens quite energetically where I see a strangely nostalgic young girl barge in. Serge, we found some ruins of an old mansion up in northern Kitsune Forest today. Come on, let's go exploring. Yep, this is exactly the same as the last ending. You're welcome, chat, for the compliments on my quality voice acting. The reader's mother truly putting the effort in to making that a character everybody wants to respect. I assume we're just going to see the same credits now. Yep, looks like the same credits. So next time, another playthrough. I guess I should figure out which playthrough we just did. But we'll figure that out momentarily. Until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, I've got thousands more. Just click that channel button. Cheers from Yahweasel. Let's stare at the credits. Because at the end, it's going to show us which we did. Like, the first ending we did was ending 1, and I assume you're railroaded into ending 1 at the beginning. But this is ending 2, maybe? Or it could be ending 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. I imagine that doing ending 1 unlocks maybe, like, ending 2, 3, and 4. I don't know. But, it could easily be any of them. Yeah. So I'm just curious which one it's going to be. And the music is nice, too. And there's lots of pink birds. You know, the flamingos flying north. I am not going to promise doing all of the endings, Gontvin, but I am going to do as many endings as sort of come obviously to me. If I get to a point where it's like, I have no idea how I would activate another ending, then I'll stop it there. But I'm gonna do, like, so, you know, I like to complete games. Usually that just means finishing the game, like getting to the screen we're on now. But with this game, that is not an honest description of finishing the game. So I'm gonna try to get sort of as many as possible. Maybe I'll get them all, probably not. I imagine some of them are pretty cryptic. So I'm just, you know, I'll get what I get. No promises. But I'll do more than 2. Or at least try. Thanks, Yamashita, for your public relations. Thanks, Demi-Force, for your translation. This is the exact same, so... There we go. Just more fast forwarding needed. Fiend. Got that fiend. Love that fiend. And this is ending number... Oh, 5! Okay. I was really not anticipating ending 5, but it's ending 5. So Joel, I record videos and stream at the same time, so I'm actually going to be continuing this in like 5 minutes. I'm just going to take a brief break right now. So if you want to see more endings and such, you can just, you know, wait 5 minutes. Or as the videos slowly start to roll out, you can watch those too. Yeah, there's a lot of endings. Well, I mean, you know, for a visual novel, it's not that many endings, but it's a few endings. Anyway, I'll be back in a bit. What? I'm under attack? What? Annoying old party man. He's just such a partier, I must murder him. Where are you leading me? Oh, I have to examine that. I just put down this shelving I'm carrying around for no reason first. It's a good thing that the ventilation system is shared by the entire city. I carried this with me through there. Amazing. Well, this is how I live now. I just carry around giant metal shelves with me. Receive drug. Oh, whoa, okay! Oh, future Yahweasel, I was not expecting to need some censorship here! Whoa, okay! Oh, God! Oh, man, I'm choking. We're gonna run across the street and shoot the gun a lot at bad guys. We're also bad guys.
Hey, Buster, wait up!
I'm not waiting for you, Slowpoke! Are you seriously waiting across the street for... what are you waiting for? The walk signal? Come on, we're criminals! You can jaywalk, you jackass! Jeez. The Baron sees no one. I don't care. Open door. No one enters the castle without the Baron's permission. Pick lock. Kill guard. Oh, the quick way to die. I don't know where I might find wine. I was assuming that I might find it around... oh, the pub, obviously. I have to go to the Easter... so I just can't get wine, then? Just can't actually get wine? Is this wine? It's not. Would you like some mead? I can find mead. Okay. Kind of assumed if you need wine, you go to a pub. Not the case. I mean, frankly, if you need wine, you don't go to a pub, you go to a nice restaurant, but... you know, if you need wine and all you've got is a pub, you go to the pub. What's the vintage on that bag of wine back there? No, that's the ketchup. This planet can't live. Have you tried fighting the aliens? They do not put up a fight. Basically, like, hit them a little bit with a wet towel, and you will win. They suck. Oh, the super jump! What has it done? No, super jump, why? See, that's why I was concerned about the super jump. That is literally the exact thing. That's what I was worried about right there.
You're dead.
Now these things happen.
Broom closet, explored it a bit, and we're just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Ugh. Oh god, I collapsed too much! No! Oh, what have I done? I was just trying to make a joke! Oh god! No! No, no, no! I would like another empty metal plate, please. This guy's got food, and he has a Coke! What the heck? Why do you serve me empty metal plates, and this guy gets a, like, huge helping of something? Good day, blah, 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 blah. Yes, yes, yes. Very interesting. I should give her some food. Yep, okay. Look at this! This guy's got, like, curry and a Coke, and everybody else has empty plates. This guy just joined me. There's no way that's not significant. Here, have an empty plate. No, I want what he's having! Here is your empty plate! Yes, yes, okay. Fine. Delicious empty plate. Look at that. That's crazy. No food, 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 feast! Watch me flip this shop sign with my mind! Flip! 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 Flippy powers! Hey guys, have I been mentioning that I've been practicing my singing? Ma la ma la la ma la la. You wanted to put it on that side? Too bad.
Apparently.
You're gonna put it on. Graham tosses the moldy cheese into the machine's bubbling liquid.
Okay, well that works too. There's a sound.
Something's happening! Something that goes...
It's a pretty long animation. Hey! Hey!
It is a long animation. Jeebus. Come on, you can do it. Come on.
One more.
One more energy jolt from that side.
Nope, one more.
It's a good thing.
Wait, but his still has power,
Yeah, it
so
seems to.
maybe still another one.
It's a good thing that Mordak had the convenient
go.
wand depowering machine.
Yes.
What? What? How was I supposed to interpret that action? Because I can tell you that how my brain interpreted that action is probably not how Nintendo intended for it to be interpreted. Dramatic music. Dramatic music. It needed a drone. I am providing the drone. Dramatic music. Drone. Why? So to the non-believers in chat, I didn't say I was actually going to do all of them. I said I was going to try. I said I was going to just do as many as sort of come obviously. And then, you know, if I get stuck, I'll just stop. I'm not, you know, I'm not planning on becoming frustrated with this game. I'm just not going to. But the other thing is, like, so a standard visual novel, you can literally permute. Like, you can just do the full permutation of every possible ending, or of every possible step, every possible way that you could do things, and it's not obvious whether you can do that in this game, because it's not like you just have a tree of steps. It's a cyclic, it's a directed graph of steps. It has cycles because you actually like move, and so you could try to like guess what are the important actions and maybe, you know, make a sort of graph of those. But yeah, it seems like it would be it's not the kind of visual novel you can just permute all of the conclusions out of. There's also, like, in certain things, if you just wait, a different action happens than if you don't, and that could be very, very complicated too. Just one moment. Hello, this is Yahweasel, this is Radical Dreamers. The last time we beat ending 5, and chat basically has decided I'm not even going to find one more ending, let alone all of them. And I don't anticipate finding all of them, but, I mean, give me some credit. I like story-based games. Like, story-based games are what I do. Le fast. Okay. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to fast forward because let's not immediately fall asleep. Like, I don't want to fast forward because it's unclear what has and hasn't changed. It's too dangerous to fall asleep now. Get a name for this sort of thing, but I can't seem to remember it at the moment. Man, that was close. Shaking my head, I try to stay alert. Still, all this is really something. Walking through a forest like this at night, on a night like tonight. It's too bad I can't read. It would really help. Reminds me so much of the first time I bumped into her. It's been something like 3 years since Kid and I met. Back then I was a drifter. Okay, I think this is... Yup. Yep, this is the same. Yep, okay. This is the same as the first playthrough. But that's a ridiculous statement, J9, because, of course, you know, the first action you make is going to railroad you into a certain selection of endings. This clearly is railroading me into the same path that got me the first ending. I assume there are other endings on that path, so I'm gonna try it. But, you know, yeah, you can't reverse time. Let's say duh to that. Okay, this went differently. How did we end up on this path? This is weird. Well, once you fall off a horse, it's hard to get back on. I just can't play music anymore. Life is like a stone on the side of a hill. If it comes loose, there's really no chance of it stopping until it's tumbled all the way to the bottom. What are you talking about? Like you're saying we're messing up your life just by being here. Oop. How did you know what I was thinking, kid? Because you were saying it, not thinking it, Magil says from behind. Oh no, what have I been saying? You don't like being with us, why don't you do us a favor and take a hike, huh? We could do just fine without a third wheel, kid shouts, stomping away angrily. Kid, wait up, I call out, running after her. Hey, what's that bright flash over there, kid suddenly asks, pointing towards a thicket in front of us. Huh, I don't see anything. I look around closely, but all I see is a bunch of trees and rocks extending on into the darkness. It was a bright flash, it was right over there, I tell ya. Yeah, go check it out. That seems like a different path. I walk over beside Kid, trying to see whatever it was she saw. Magil approaches as well a moment later. We're already fairly deep into Lord Lynx's territory, he says. It's dangerous to start blindly wandering around. You are aware of that fact, are you not? However, Kid doesn't budge an inch, keeping her eyes on the bush. Do you feel something here? Magil asks, changing his expression a moment later. Kid's eyes meet Magil's for a moment, but before long she returns her focus to the forest. And there, in the bush, is the frozen flame! So be it, he finally says. If we are intended to stray from the path, this might prove to be worth something in its own regard. But before Magil even finishes speaking, Kid bolts, disappearing into the trees. Hey, wait up! Be careful, Serge. Foul things lie down this path. Nodding, this story path. I cautiously start to make my way through the trees. The notion that I'm not going to get a different ending here is ridiculous. Obviously, I'm already on my way to a different ending. Much to my surprise, we're able to find it right away. Turns out to be a beautiful beetle, colored solid gold, perched on a high tree limb. The golden beetle, Kid cries out, climbing up the large tree. The beetle certainly glitters like real gold. Kid seems quite caught up in the sight. No, not caught up in the sight, rather caught up in the greed, I should say. Man, she's fast. She's already... Oh, who said that? Maybe I said that. She's already climbed up about 5 or 6 times my height, heavily baited with hopes of gold. Aha! Kid catches it, but almost instantly the beetle shakes free, buzzing out of her hand. Wait, she yells, reaching out her hand further and further, hoping to catch the golden insect, but suddenly she loses her balance and falls. Try to catch her! Hold on, I yell, leaping forward. But then she begins to curl herself into a small ball, spinning around in midair like a cannonball. Yeah, she's more talented than you are. This is bad. She'll knock both of us out if I have to catch her like that. Yeah, exactly, Joel. The Magil is just like, by the way, you're on a different story path now. It's, I mean, all of this about it being cryptic, how to get to different paths, the game just told us. Seeing this, I jump out of the way, fearing for my life. However, Kid opens herself up mere feet from the ground, gracefully landing as nimble as a cat. Of course she does. Doesn't seem hurt in the least. If I hadn't run, she probably would have landed flat on my face. Kid! Wait, my beetle, she yells, continuing to chase after it without even acknowledging us. I think they are, Spec Lad. Relentlessly chasing the beetle as she plunges deeper and deeper into the forest. We follow after, desperately trying to keep her in sight. For all I know, it could be the golden beetle or just another common insect. However, we're so deep in the forest now, I can't see anything but an endless assortment of dark trees and jagged rocks, stretching out in every direction. I doubt Kid herself can even see the beetle at this point. How could she still be tracking it? As soon as I start to ask myself this, I realize what she'd tell me, intuition. Suddenly, Kid stopped in a clearing. Did you find it? Nah, I found something gold, but it ain't the golden beetle. I look over Kid's shoulder. There, in a small spot of light, stands a tall golden plant. My first impression is that it's a sunflower, but those don't usually bloom at night, do they? What? This is such a... like, there's such a path of options here that I feel like everything is going to change the outcome. What is this thing? Jeez, you're thick as ever. There's something special about this thing. Can't you feel it? Everything is gold in this forest! I close my eyes, trying to get one of those feelings she's always talking about. Concentrate! I close my eyes, trying to concentrate. So, do you feel anything? Well, I feel a little tired. Not that kind of feeling, you dummy, she says angrily, slapping me upside the head so hard that I see red. I have to admit, I haven't had much experience being intuitive, especially while being beaten up. I try to wonder what she can possibly be feeling all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. I walk around the enormous plant, taking another look at it, but then suddenly... What the... We're fighting the Incan Empire as represented in a plant! A face suddenly emerges in the center of the flower. The ghastly sight, complete with drunken, drowsy eyes, purple eyelashes, thick pink lips, a long bent nose. What is it, Magil? Sorry, sometimes you have to make choices quickly, so I'm just gonna make choices quickly when I might have to. Apparently unfazed by the strange sight, Magil calmly starts to rack his brain. What was this sort of thing called? He says. He strokes his chin, going into a sort of quiet trance. Magil's gotten a lot more talkative recently. In my first playthrough, he was 100% not talkative. In the next playthrough, he's, talked a bit. Now he's a downright chatty Cathy. I sure hope he remembers soon. Does it matter? The sunflower is just standing there. It's not threatening us. That's Magil for you, though. He's got a head full of knowledge, wiser than most I've ever met. However, it takes him a good bit of time to remember certain things, and until he remembers, he'll remain completely useless. He's led us into a danger a few times because of that. Yeah, exactly, Joel. The sunflower just looks bored. Why are we afraid? Yeah, there goes the battle. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Wait, it can talk too? In a horrific, downright racist French accent? Madam what? Kid asks, smirking. Oh, ma chérie, I was just sneaking a peek at your petite breast. I hope that you are not angry. What? Get your eyes off of me. Oh, my sweet mademoiselle, how young and feisty you are, the sunflower answers back playfully. I would like to apologize to France and everyone who speaks French and everyone else. You perverted freak of nature! Watch what you say around me, Kid says as she flashes her dagger, dangling down at her side. Kid squaring off with a sunflower. Now I've seen it all. Oh, my darling, perhaps you and I should confess somewhere a bit more private. Suddenly, Kid whips out her dagger, slashing clean through the sunflower's stalk. Yeah! Its blaring screech is as excruciating to hear as 100 hands simultaneously scratching down a chalkboard. It's the nails, not the hands, just to throw that out there. Just a hand wiping down a chalkboard. Not really that annoying. I feel faint. My knees are going to buckle if I hear any more French. But then suddenly, oh, you must not be so violent, my sweet-chested filet. That tickles. Somehow another sunflower has instantly sprouted and replaced the one that was cut down, perfectly identical to its predecessor. Bastard! Kid shouts, slashing her dagger through the air once again. Yeah! More and more of that awful screech fills the air. But then, moments later, no, I am not yet married, but if you insist. Boy, she's big on killing sunflowers, huh? Kid continues hacking away, tearing down every new sunflower that pops up. However, for every one she mows down, 2 or 3 instantly sprout up in its place. Oh, good, a hydra of sunflowers. I do not understand those words, Hubix. There goes the pacifist run. All this screeching, I can't take it any longer. Stop, Kid, please. Stop, Kid, I shout, trying to intervene. However, she heatedly shoves me aside, becoming more and more infuriated as she hacks through the never-ending crop of sunflowers. Kid, come on, I shout, trying to shake her, but she only shrugs me off as she continues to whack away at the sunflowers, getting more and more infuriated. Oh, ma chérie, why must you shake your puny little sword at moi? We do not need such love games. With the sweet feeling we have for each other, there is no use for violence. Ne sais pas. Kid's face turns redder and redder as she buries herself further into the sunflower patch. I remember now, Magil says, finally snapping out of it. This is what's known as a Parisian. Please do This is what's known as a Mandora monster. Please do not make the mistake of trying to cut it down. Magil? I point to the humongous crop of sunflowers where Kid is now resorted to gripping one of the sunflower's shock and shaking it with both hands. However, the sunflower does not but laugh down at her. Suddenly, all around us, the ground starts to tremble and quake. Dirt loosens as the ground gives way, creating a sort of quicksand beneath our feet. I leap back instantly, but I then realize Kid's in the thick of it, ignoring everything except the sunflowers. Kid, I yell, but it's too late. She's caught up in the entanglement of stalks. After a moment, she slips and falls on the unstable ground, getting swallowed up into the newly formed pit beneath her. Oh wow, is this an ending where Kid just dies? I try to go after her, but just as I approach the patch, a great number of plants and vines quickly shoot up around Kid, blocking me. Just one moment. I just need to check something. Sorry about that. Then suddenly a mess of vines leap out at me, trying to wrap themselves around my arms and legs. However, I feel a set of strong arms take hold of me and jerk back almost immediately. Oh, sorry. I feel a set of strong arms take hold of me and jerk me back almost immediately. Thanks, Magil. There's no time to lose. Run! But Kid, I know. Running up onto a nearby hill, I stop for a moment and look back. The whole mess is nothing but a billowing cloud of dust now. All I can make out are a multitude of vines waving crazily in the air. I can neither see nor hear Kid. Yeah, don't run back in. That's like real dumb. Call out to her. Kid! Kid! I call out again and again to no avail. I want to rush in there and help her, but... death? After a minute or two, the dust starts to settle. Hey, what's that? A large silhouette is starting to appear from out of the dust cloud. It's big, a lot bigger than what was there before. As the figure is gradually exposed to the moonlight, I start to see a more defined shape. Yeah, I kind of figured that much, Gladiator, but, you know, it gets dropped in 2 minutes, so whatever. He's just being a twit. Children will be children. Kid! This thing, whatever it is easily 7 or 8 times my height. Don't you love streaming? Streaming is great. Its body seems to resemble a gorilla's. Its exposed muscles are wrapped in ivy, and its digits remind me of a pointed shellfish. Golden sunflower petals are lined up on the back of its neck. However, instead of a head, it's her. Kid's stark naked except for the bra. Upper body has been fused into the top of the monster. Other than 2 small sunflowers covering her chest, she's wearing nothing at all. So naked except for the part that one would normally cover. Serge, listen to me. The Mandora monster has fused with Kid. We must save her quickly, otherwise she'll be lost forever, consumed by her own hate. Serge, quit gawking and pay attention. What? She's going to die? I frantically try to think of what to do. It's hard, though. I can't seem to take my eyes off those 2 sunflowers. Oh, God, what a twit. How do I save her? Calm down. There is a way. The monster has managed to intertwine itself with Kid because of her strong sentiments of anger. Unless we separate Kid from her anger, we will be unable to save her. Oh, God, this is... Okay. So on all the other paths, there are these moments where it's like... there are these moments where it's like, let's bring in a hormonal 15-year-old to write the dialogue for a bit. I'm betting we are just diving headlong into that path right now. How do we do that? With love. Love? Yes, it's the only way. I shall go and make preparations. In the meantime, protect Kid's body and show her love. Also, you must prevent her from using any magic. In her current state, the more she gets... Since when does she have magic? Magic isn't a thing that she has. What are you talking about? It's good to know that Restream chat doesn't, like, keep up with YouTube chat auto-removing things that are spam. Bravo, Restream. Really doing a service to me today. What? Kid can't use magic. Yeah, that's what I thought. She can now. How can this be happening? Serge, show her your love. Magil says, leaving me with those words as he sinks into a nearby shadow. Wait, Magil! Oh, this is so... I am going to despise every second of this. I am going to hate this. Alone and afraid, I look up at the huge atrocity as I shudder in the chilly nighttime breeze. Love? I couldn't think of a more awkward place to think about love. The sound of the word makes me cringe as it dances through my mind. This is the voice I use when I'm mocking terrible writing. While lost in thought, I suddenly hear a soft muttering from far above. You say they're small. That's gonna be about her breasts, isn't it? Jesus Christ. They're not small, I tell ya. Others are big. Too big. Yeah, God, why this game? Stop making fun of me. Stop making fun of me. I'll kill you all! Kid cries out madly, her eyes filled with flames of rage. Suddenly, her gaze shifts towards me. The monster instantly lashes. Jump back! I instantly jump back as the giant hammer comes crashing down, kicking up heaps of dirt and sand with a ground-shaking thud. Kid, it's me, Serge! I call out to her, waving my arms wildly. However, the only reaction I get is of increasing anger. Just then, I start to hear a low voice cry out from beyond a nearby hill. What's going on over there? Oh no, goblins! Look, it's the Mandoro! What's got it all acting up? This is how goblins talk, apparently. Noticing the goblins, the monster begins to moan. Kid's cheeks puff up, and then suddenly... and the sun explodes. Oops! Supernova. Game ends. Kid sends a giant fireball streaking out of her mouth, crashing into the goblins. It instantly reduces them to ashes. Damn it, magic, I say to myself as Magil's warning flashes through my head. Finished with the goblin, the monster suddenly remembers me, turning around, shout, I love you! I can't help but feel embarrassed professing my love to a hulking monster who's ready to kill me. I nervously shout, I love you! Up into the night sky, hoping she'll hear me. Suddenly, the monster starts to draw closer and closer to me. Did I do it? Is she coming back to reality? This is so dumb. It is real dumb. No, really doesn't look like it. Help! I run and hide, plunging into the deep, dark labyrinth of the wilderness. Not gonna see Disney take this story on. You never know. Disney does some unusual things. However, behind me, I can hear the thunderous sounds of trees being crushed and boulders being broken. I continue to run as the gigantic monster chases after me. Well, I mean, that's what you do when a gigantic monster is chasing you. I've been running for at least 5 straight minutes now, dodging trees and jumping logs. I'm starting to lose my breath. Just as I begin to think I can't run anymore, the end of the forest comes into view. However, as I come to the clearing... Lined up before me, the troop of fearless-looking goblins. They're carrying a huge cannon with them, easily 20 feet tall. I try not to think of how easily I'd be obliterated if I ever accidentally stood in its path, or was forced to stand in its path, for that matter. Ah, they're gonna destroy the thing, and I had to stop them, and also love, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I mean, I don't even know... Just... Like, some random YouTube channel is not the place to have a conversation in a different language. You know, like, I don't even know if you're saying anything wrong, but I'm just going to, like, remove you both from my chat because, like, this isn't even the right language, and this isn't even about the game. Not that I have anything against the Polish language, I just have something against chat that I have that has nothing at all to do with what's going on. Fire, walk on target, shouts a goblin. Oh, great. Let's try and tell him what's happening. I collapse at the goblin's feet out of breath. Goblin leader, decked in a full suit of iron armor, sporting Lynx's insignia, comes over towards me. Glares at me with piercing, intimidating eyes, so it's ready to whip out its mace if I do as much as breathe the wrong way. I really don't know about this, turning to goblins for help, but I've got no other choice. Please help me save my friend! Goblin guard stares at me blankly. I continue, gasping for air between sentences. We were chasing after this beetle, but then a sunflower suddenly appeared, captured my friends, and started to chase me through the forest. Please, you have to help us! She's the most important thing in the world to me! The goblin's eyes relax. Is that right? Your friend was captured. I understand. We'll help you. Don't worry. Squeal like a pig. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Boy, I'm sure glad I didn't judge this book by its cover. However, just as I say this, or think it apparently, and how much would this lovely beetle of kid sell for, That voice! Suddenly the goblin shouts out, What? Your friend is that crooked thief, kid? A wave of shock goes through me, just when things were starting to seem okay for once. I try to see behind the goblin, searching for that strangely familiar voice, the one that sounded just like the sunflowers. However, all I can make out is some sort of strange psychedelic light emanating from behind the troop. The light seems to be coming from a figure, whoever or whatever it is. As he makes his way through the crowd, I finally get a good look at him. His hairstyle reminds me of a tall green chimney, and his red and green pinstriped costume is like that of Santa Claus or a harlequin. An over-the-top long purple cape drags behind him as he approaches me. Yeah, the goblins are very, very personable. Really, if you have any trouble, you just go and have a chat with the goblins. They'll work it out. And I tell you what, I think we're going to see this new friend next time. Until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, join us on Discord at Yahweasel.com/Discord. Cheers from Yahweasel. Whew. Things have gone real weird. And onwards we go. Hello, this is Yahweasel. This is the Radical Dreamers. We're in the forest and Kid is turned into a giant weird monster and some nonsense about love poetry. Are you the sunflower? I ask, confused. Sunflower? Who is a sunflower? It cries out. I can't help it. This person, no, this thing, hyphen, his face looks exactly like the sunflowers. Caught off guard by the sight, two goblin guards flank me by surprise, wrestling me to the ground. Ah, monsieur, you are Mademoiselle Kid's friend, no? I do not believe we are met. Bonjour, je m'appelle Paulin. Throughout the world, I am known as the Green Terrier. Perhaps you have heard of moi, no? Neither of these things. Glare at it. Ugh, that same strange feeling I got with that sunflower arises. No matter, soon le terror shall be planted in your heart, for Kid's death is at hand. As a gentleman, I shall grant you the privilege of seeing this happen before your very eyes. Isn't there anything else you can do? I plead from the bottom of my heart, begging to let her go. Ah, it is very beautiful that you feel this way about her, but alas, I am under employment and I must deal with intruders. I am sorry, but I cannot grant your wish, Paulin says with a cheerful gesture of consolation. Captain, here it is! The goblin shout strikes into my heart like a death sentence. To the cannon, sir, the guard says to Paulin. Stop, please, I holler, relentlessly trying to break free of the guard's restraint. However, they only tighten their grip on my arms, and tears begin to stream down my cheeks as the pain shoots in. Monsieur, how do you this? Are there any final words you would like more to say to this friend of yours? I think we should annoy her more, because then she'll go all crazy. Adieu, petite-chested mademoiselle. Oh, oui, when I fire the cannon, I shall say that. I can tell you must have had quite a few feisty experiences with this villain, no? With a bittersweet smile on his face, Poulon skips towards the pedestal. No, stop! My grievous cries resound unanswered, echoing throughout the starry night. I can see some sort of goblin. Some of the goblins have felt my side of the story, but Poulon remains unfazed. Well then, let us begin, he shouts, grasping the crystal ball with both hands. Gonyo, 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 fireball! Adieu, petite-chested mademoiselle! The barrel of the magical cannon flashes as a tremendous fireball is let loose. That's from her. That's not from it. It shoots directly towards the monster, crashing into its torso with the impact of a 2-ton battering ram. Explosive flames engulf the area, blowing me back with a gust of hot air. That doesn't seem to have worked. One moment. I think my... Oh, no, never mind. I was just surprised that it's so silent, but nope, it's just silent. Kid! Oui, finally, we are rid of that horrible little mademoiselle. In the past, such terrible experiences have stemmed from her, no? But now we shall worry about her no more. Kid... I fall to the ground, devastated, but even more so is the dreadful feeling of regret I'm filled with. However, suddenly, the goblin guards simultaneously call out in surprise, Captain, look! A giant figure of some kind seems to be emerging from the blazing explosion. We pissed her off! That was the goal! As the smoke subsides, there stands the monster, completely unharmed. Just as I thought that pompous freak is no match for Kid, I breathe a sigh of relief, but then I realize I'm no further away from doom than before. What? She lives? How can this be? Poulon screams incredulously, running toward me. The relaxed smile from earlier has now been replaced with nervous sweat. What kind of twisted magic is this? He frustratedly asks me. It's impossible pour vous, I answer sarcastically, trying to imitate that pompous accent of his. French is just a pompous accent. It doesn't matter what you're saying. It's just, I'm sorry, French people. Complete with landing a few drops of saliva on his putrid face. Poulon turns bright red. What? Spit it out, you little swine, he demands, furiously shaking me by my shirt. But then all of a sudden... Oh, I have no idea what voice I'm supposed to be putting that in. Like a howling wolf, Kid's voice echoes out through the grassy plain. Chill runs down my spine. Could it really be her, trying to break free from the monster? As I stare up at her, silence and fear take hold. She's waving her hands around in the air, saying something in a slow, deep voice. Oh god, that's super creepy. The damned who lurk in the dark. Quietly and solemnly, Kid's voice begins to echo out. That's her voice all right, but it doesn't sound like her at all. That monster's still got a hold on her. Must be using her to summon another spell. As she continues to chant, a blue aura starts to form in front of her, shimmering with deadly beauty. How could she do that? Poulon shrieks, now turning blue with fright. No one can stand up against my cannon! Adieu, he shouts before quickly fleeing. The goblin chief follows soon after. All troops fall back, retreat to the manor on the double! Following the goblin chief's orders, the soldiers abandon the cannon and flee to Viper Manor. I'm left alone with this gigantic monstrosity, listening to it summon who knows what. What am I supposed to do? Call for Magil! My cries ring out in the night sky as I gulp down desperate gasps of air. However, the only response I hear is kids. Hatred and jealousy in my hands. Gather into 1,000 dark prayers. Just as I think I'm about to lose it, a voice echoes out from behind me. There you are. Alarmed, I whip around instantly. Magil! Relieved, I try to catch my breath. He's changed, hyphen. A strange sort of glittering silver robe drapes down from his shoulders. Bright ring shines across his entire back. Yeah, let's not be a dick to him. What are we gonna do? I want to ask him about his new clothes and everything, but now is not the time. Instead, I tell him about what happened, the chain of events relentlessly overflowing from my heart. I tried to do what you told me, but... Yes, however, for now, we should leave this area. It is not safe here. Scooping me up under his arm, Magil briefly recites a spell and soars high into the air. From far above, I look down upon the ominous landscape, hearing Kid continue to recite her strange incantation. I'm betting there is at least one other non-death ending in this sort of path of her becoming the weird sunflower thing. The fallen angel, Mist. Answer my prayer and grant me thy power. I mean, if you're trying to get her power, you should really go with your instead of thy. Don't thou her. I can barely make it all out from up here. But from what I can tell, a faint pale light is starting to drift all around the monster, causing the ball of light in Kid's hand to grow stronger and stronger. I wish I could do something, but I don't know what to do. Death to all living things. Destruction to all creation. Devour all light. Phantom break. Oh, I know Phantom break. With the sound of 1,000 tortured voices of madness crying out in unison, Kid's surging ball of light begins to grow larger and larger, eating away at everything around her. The pale, shimmering light slowly stretches outwards, swallowing up everything in its path, melting Viper Manor like fire on ice. It indiscriminately evaporates the huge mansion, along with everything else in its wake. And yet the mansion is still there. Oh, there it goes. We couldn't be bothered to animate a circle of light while doing that. Stretching out more and more, the gigantic void eats away at everything before disappearing into the ground. Unbelievable. If Magil hadn't been here just now, oh man, just thinking about it gives me the chills. Giant fissure has been created where Viper Manor once stood, continuing down into the ground further than I can see. And there, on the brink of this newly formed ravine, stands Kid. She seems to be holding out, Magil says. She's wrestling with the monster for control, but she's almost at her limit. Yep, she became... I mean, really, what goal can you have for yourself better than becoming the apocalypse? That's like, you know, if you rank all of the goals a person could possibly have, I think become the apocalypse is like number one. I can barely hold back the impatience in my heart looking down upon all this. What's going to happen to her? Don't let her die. Quiet, child. Magil's unexpected outburst snaps me out of my nervousness. Calm down, Serge. He's right. I need to keep my cool. I don't think he needed to go about it like that, though. I'm hurt. Allow me to cast a levitation spell on you, he says, before muttering some arcane words. Shortly after, he gently releases me and I fall to my death. The end. Whoa, I'm floating. To fly, simply think about the direction you wish to travel. Nodding, I carefully try it out. He's right, this is amazing. I dart here and there, flying circles around him with ease. Boy, if only you had used this on any of the other routes, or it would have been useful to be able to fly. But no, you've only remembered you can do that if this particular sequence of events happens. Now, please let me see your knife. I pull it out, fumble, and immediately drop it to the ground. I take it out and hand it to him. Magil takes a white jewel from inside his robe and again mumbles some strange-sounding words. Suddenly, the jewel attaches itself to the hilt of my knife as though it were magnetized. You know, he mumbles some strange-sounding words like hurdy-gurdy. He hands the knife back to me, saying, I mentioned this to you before, but let me emphasize it again. Kid is bound to the monster's body because of her anger. As long as that bond exists, we will be unable to save her. To break it, I told you to show her your love. God. But I don't understand how to do that, I yell, pressing him for an answer. This is dumb. They're real dumb. This is like proper dumb. Also, the sea is made of blood. A kiss. Yeah, of course it is. I have to kiss that thing. Yes, it is the most effective way. But its arms are as wide as my waist. Why didn't you tell me this before? I yell, hitting outside the head in a fit of rage. And with that, I accidentally knock Magil's golden mask off, sending it falling down through the night sky to the ground. Whoop. Did I just do that? You're gonna see his real face. It's the first time I've ever seen his true face. Even for a guy like me, I'm taken aback by his looks. See, the problem is that Serge can't show his love for Kid because he's instantly been turned gay by Magil's face. That's the true curse of Magil. He has to wear a mask because everyone, male, female, animal, anything, just instantly fall in love with him the moment his mask comes off. His hair sways in the moonlight as his piercing blue eyes survey the environment below. His beauty is different than a woman's. There's some sort of a fierce, intrepid quality about him. Yep, Serge is in love. He is truly a beautiful person. Vegetable, mineral, points out Strixes in chat. Yep. No, it's not only animals that instantly fall in love. Magil's hand suddenly comes across my face, eagerly returning the blow. And now, you know, he's just developed that into a fetish. Look what you've done to Serge. Come on, Magil. Serge, listen to me. I'm okay now, I swear. I wasn't gawking. If Kid uses one more spell, we will not be able to save her. Be sure to kiss her before that happens. However, if you're unable to do this before she finishes concentrating her magical power, you must thrust your knife into her heart. The jewel embedded in your knife holds the power to steal souls. Doing so will be dangerous, but it will be our last resort. Joel in chat points out, and cue the Kiss Magil choice now. Yeah, that's how they get two more endings. There's the ending where Serge just turns 100% gay for Magil, and there's the ending where he's like, you know, I can be bi, whatever. Listening to Magil's words, there is no street. That's you know, it's too late. Magil's effects have already taken hold. Listening to Magil's words, the possibilities run through my head. Two choices. Even though I can fly, it's going to be incredibly hard to get close enough to that thing to kiss her, if you know what I mean. But the alternative, I don't even want to think about that. I'm going to start preparations for the exorcism. I will not be able to come to your aid during this time. Oh man, he's got to go away again? Could this get any more hopeless? Taking a deep breath, I try to convince myself I should be facing Kid on my own anyways. Got it. I'll do my best. Yes, Serge, your determination is at the very core of this matter, he says, with his deep blue eyes fixed solidly on me. Strange, behind that seemingly impenetrable gaze of his, I swear I see a hint of compassion somewhere within him. If only I could bring that hint of compassion out. Hell then, let's go. Who is saying this? Protect the girl you love with all your might and your heart. I don't know who said that. As Magil's words resound into my head, an uproar of might rushes into my spirit. I'm going to save her, even if it kills me. The will to save the one and only Kid pulses through my body. I flash Magil a huge smile and begin my descent. This is the voice I use when the writing is by an emotional 15-year-old. Or kid. And then a comet came and crashed to the ground and killed Kid. Oops! That was really bad timing. Soaring down through the air, I spot Kid at the edge of the chasm. She's aware of me as well. As the monster rises to its feet, she stares up at me with an infuriated look in her face. She's changed. Countless red veins have streaked across her body, pulsating with anger. The monster's right hand arcs upwards in a flash, trying desperately to grab me. I dodge at the very last second. I zip behind its arm, coming within, try to cover her mouth up? Come on, time this right. I reach out my right hand and carefully cover up her mouth, hoping to prevent her from completing the spell. Moving up towards Kid's chin, I try to give her a kiss. However, she has other plans. She thrusts her right hand upwards, clocking my jaw from underneath. I desperately try to drive away her hands, but she managed to poke me in the eye. Ouch! Tears roll down my cheeks as an intense pain shoots into my right eye. Could this get any worse? Suddenly, a tremendous pressure assaults my torso. Looking around, I realize the monster's caught me in its huge hand. It brings me up towards Kid, with her morbid stare fixed solely on me. Her lips turn into a gloated smile before changing into a billowing, hateful laugh. She reaches out and places her right hand on my forehead, and then a stream of red blood starts to pour from her mouth. Ew. Oh no, she's starting another spell. Try to break free! Twisting and turning with all my strength, I struggle to escape from my bonds. However, the monster's grip isn't loosened one bit. However, her expression remains unchanged as her unblinking eyes dance around erratically. Suddenly, a trace of light begins to form in the palm of her hand. Red streaks begin to rise up along her body. Kid! Then, I think I might have screwed up. Suddenly, a ring of light comes flying at us from overhead, cutting into the monster's arm like a hot knife through butter. I fall to the ground with the monster's arm instantly released from its excruciating grip. Serge, now! Magil shouts from high above. Okay. Heeding Magil's order, I go for it. Reaching my hand out towards her ever beautiful face. She's gorging up blood from her mouth. Whatever. I hesitantly move in towards her lips. The words echo out in my head. I have no idea what difference that choice might have made. Well done, Serge. Hold her tightly to you, and leave the rest to me. Hearing that voice, I slowly open my eyes. All I see before me is Kid's face, hollow and listless. I'm so scared. I hug her tighter than I've ever hugged her before. Mainly because we're, like, basically loose acquaintances, but whatever. Quietly sobbing as I kiss her again and again. Looking up, I see Magil floating among a sea of clouds. Hanging there in midair with his arms folded. His dazzling figure glitters like gold. This is just the threesome route. Suddenly, the clouds beneath him open up as he darts downwards, aiming directly for us. And then he kills us both. The end. The moon comes forth. Its goddess speaks. I am summoned by the will to vanquish evil. Goddess of the moon, lend me your power. Scourge the insolent evil from this world. I really want to pause this and see what this sprite is. Now! The golden ring printed on Magil's cape shines brighter and brighter as he swoops down onto us. I don't know who's saying that. Lunashant Ring Force Kick. Was that even the third word? Centered on Kid, the collision creates a huge explosion spreading over the monster's entire body. My first instinct is to back away, but I remain by her, hugging her body tighter than ever. Somehow the explosive flames don't seem to harm me. Soon after, the flames begin to subside. I slowly open my eyes, only to see the spell on Kid has been broken. She's been separated from the monster. I hold her body tightly to me as I fly away with her, far out of the reach of the incapacitated monster. Looking back, the monster begins to pulsate with a white light, causing the battered monster's body to shake and tremble. Shimmering sparks dance around its body, circling the beast faster and faster, until the entire scene is a glistening ball of light. And then it also howls like a cat. Soaring further and further away from the calamity, I look back again only to see the monster implode into a single point of light. And then a black hole! Oops, that's not a good thing to have just on a planet. Having left no trace of the disaster that took place before, the small point of light briefly zips around like a firefly, disappearing into the night sky in a flash. Give me that fiend! I guess there's going to be an end scene before the fiend, really. Looking down, I can't help but grin as I see that familiar sight of Kid's face. The green in her skin is rapidly fading, returning to the normal color it once was. Kid, it's going to be okay. There is no need to worry. Once her spirit settles, she will awaken. Here, put this on her. Wouldn't be too good if she was to wake up like that, Magil says, holding out his silver cape. Now he's naked, oh my god! Yeah, if she wakes up like this, it'll be slaps and bruises for everyone. I take the cape and quickly wrap it around her limp body. She's coming to. My heart races. I look at her face, seeing her eyelids start to tremble. Good morning, Kid, I say, still a bit nervous, so nervous I say something utterly ridiculous. Serge. Magil. She groggily moves her eyes around, left and right. And then, after that brief, subdued moment, slap! You two. Damn it, you saw me naked, didn't you? Shocked, I look up at Magil, but he's nowhere to be seen. How could he leave me alone with her at a time like this? Why can't I be the one with the power of the shadows? Kid stares at me with those ever-fiery eyes of hers. Hey, you kissed me too! How he really has a kink for that. How could you remember any of that? Damn it, Magil! This is overly dramatic music for this moment. Letting out a deep breath, I answer truthfully. But before I can finish... Yeah, just like I thought, trying to sneak in a quick peck when I'm knocked out, she yells, rising to her feet, slapping me again and again. And I've never been kissed before. The nerve, you bastard, you bastard, you bastard! Suddenly she stops and looks at me. It's over. I'm about to die. Hell no, this ain't over! She lands a solid punch square on my jaw as her shouting continues to tear through my eardrums. Amidst all the commotion, the silver cape she was wearing accidentally slips off. Momentarily thrown off guard, she quickly bends down to cover herself back up. Wait, what's that on the ground? Kid seems to notice it as well, completely forgetting about me. Watch it be the frozen flame, just conveniently there! He bends down, picking it up. It's some sort of large black and white striped object. It's a zebra. That is an absurdly useless description. It's some sort of large black and white striped object. Holding it up, I try to see what it is from a safe distance. It looks like it's some sort of seed, a zebra seed. Yeah, it's a sunflower seed, but it's so big, bigger than a fist. I think the kid in monster form and Serge made a little monster form. maybe. However, this only seems to add more fuel to her fire. Ah! She stomps on it, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps, and stomps. Then she picks it up and hurls it out upwards with all her might. What? Ganyo, 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 ganyo! Kid, shouts Magil suddenly behind her. Kid, no! He roars, but it's useless. She's locked into another one of her tantrums. Ganyo, 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 fireball! So she's gained the ability to use magic. Disregarding him completely, she sends a huge fireball streaking upwards to the seed. That sunflower seed, it's worth 1 billion gold! Magil shouts just as the seed explodes. Kid suddenly looks over at Magil, but it's too late. The look on her I love this game. The look on her face is one I don't think I've ever seen before. Having just realized what she's done, her anger fades into a tremendous feeling of regret. She slumps over, silently staring into her hands. I can't believe a single seed could fetch such a price. It's a pretty big seed, though. Be calm, kid, Magil says. As you see now, you've had the power to use magic in you all along. The sunflower merely brought it out of you. However, as you see, magic is a very temperamental thing. In time, you may learn to control it. Hey, come on, kid. We didn't come away from this empty-handed. You've learned how to use magic. That's nothing to be down about, I add, trying to make the best of things. Magil softly puts a hand on her shoulder. However, she quickly turns away from us without saying a word. Her eyes are overflowing with tears. Looks like it might be a while before things get back to normal, which means you've just got Magil to pursue instead of Kid. But, you know, that relationship was going fine, too. Fiend? Give me that fiend! Give me that fiend. Yay! This is probably the same. It's been the same every other time, except for exactly who it's closed on. After the spotlight had faded from Kid, Magil, and Palon. Yep. They're gonna come forth again, but that's a story for another day. Now I put down my pen. I don't know why I've turned all transatlantic accent. Let's go to Northern Kitsune Forest. And give me that fiend! This is the remix version, yeah! Collaborators. That is a meaningless group to be in credits. Collaborators. Everyone was collaborating. A game is a collaboration. You collaborate together to make a game. What do you mean collaborators? Everyone was a collaborator. Give me that fiend! Do-do-do! I like how Serge dresses like a monk and Kid dresses like she's going to the beach. Which ending was it? Show me the ending. Kid and the Sunflower, ending number 3. Well, time to seek out another one next time, and tell them thanks for watching. If you liked the video, tell me what you like best on this or any other video on my channel to help me make compilations. Cheers from Yahweasel. I need another brief break. Boy, howdy, do I need another brief break after that. So, I will see you in about 5 minutes. Or more. Fish elf need good rod. Fish elf need good rod. Fish elf need good rod. Fish elf need good rod.
Viewers, how many times are we going to get smashed by these things?
All.
0.
I was asking
Quick
the
jump,
viewers,
quick jump.
not you, D&H.
And then we just
Hey,
fall
answer
back
that.
down here and we just
Okay.
get into a nice little loop.
Yes. We'll just stay
And
stuck.
then we fall all the way down here and we get
We
into a nice
somehow
little
managed
loop.
to barely squeeze through that little crack.
Then we just jump down
Doing
here
it
and get
again.
into an even longer loop. I wonder if old Bennett is into his research again. Whew, it's way too smoky lately. His research is smoky? Are you sure his research isn't just chain smoking? Cedric,
You are
listen to
useless.
you because he's a useless twit. You just stop trying to talk to Cedric. If he needs to talk to you, he'll just talk to you. Okay, don't fall into a fire pit. That'll be death. Whoa, don't fall into a... What part of don't fall into a fire pit didn't you understand, Tall Henry boy? There we go, it's a 5... Oh, God! Ah! You found an Archangel Heart. This still-beating food item permanently increases your health. And I ate it. And my health is increased. Yahweasel seal of approval! For my questions, answer a bit. Okay, let's go! For the master, how to exist for elves. Really? 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 Okay, it is 100% okay for me to be cheating here. Look at this! Are you kidding me? My options are question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, and question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. N with Ross on to win an elf game. What is the important thing? Oh, could it be 4 question marks, another 4 question marks, or maybe right quotation mark, Q4 right parenthesis? Oh, I think it's 4 question marks. N with Ross on, which coach to challenge you? I don't know, I don't... Ha! Not clear.
We'll have plenty of time to starve to death.
Hooray! Oh, no starving either. That looks tasty.
That looks exactly like the fossil creature.
Oh,
And
well, that looks even
a
more
little bit
tasty.
bigger.
Well, we'll have to figure out how to eat it next time. That's sometimes a euphemism, isn't it? I didn't. Never mind. Until then, thanks for watching. It's a climb tree. Climbing would serve no purpose right now. Can I climb the wall over? Oh, okay. There's a hole there. Okay. Was not expecting that. Are you... Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. I think I froze the bird in place, but it's still in animation. Oh, nope. It's just a frozen bird. Oh, there it goes. Can I buy a basket? Basket? To contain a good deal of earth. A good... Okay. Good. So you can put earth, or an earth elemental, in a basket. Get... elemental. The elemental of earth... What? Nothing suitable to put it in... But that's why I bought the basket. It said it was big enough to put earth in. Was that not a clue? Was that not telling me that that was the right thing? Oh, this is crazy. That jump is really difficult, but evident. But hi there, mushroom friend. I would love to grab you, but you're having a seizure. There we go. Get back here, you delicious treat. I should, like, grab a jelly bean whenever I do that and just go... delicious butterfly. Oh, that's right. I was trying to get into the damned car. Not like that. Get in the car, please! I'm begging you to get in the car. I'm pressing every button. I had to approach it from above before. Am I, like, trapped? Can I not get in the car ever because I can't approach it from above? Oh, what do I do here? Let me in the buggy! Oh, this game is buggy. The Goodwill Ambassador from the Bean Kingdom has arrived. Oh my god. Oh, he's a nightmare. Can we not? I can fix your eye. Oh, no, I can't, because I can't switch this to eye when I'm talking to him. There we go. You have better vision than you could ever imagine now. I can take this egg and drop it from a great height. Bye, egg. Well, that was a completely mean and pointless thing to do. Stop hurting my team. They're important to, well, they're not that important to me, but them being alive means I don't lose the game. And in that sense, they're important to me. They are victory insurance. I am flummoxed here. I How much is that eye in the window? The one labeled exotic pet not for sale. How much is that eye in the window? The one that I don't know how to feed. Next time, until then, thanks for watching. I mean, it's almost midnight. Let's go to sleep. As I was saying... Hey, I've got something for you.
My basket. Oh, thank you. I had given up upon ever seeing it again.
Is that important to you?
It was made by my grandmother,
yes.
and it was given to me when I was still a kitten. I cannot thank you enough for this. Here is the reward of which I wrote in my notice at the Adventurers Guild.
A shell necklace.
I know it is not much of a reward, but it is a token of my eternal friendship. Thank you again. Farewell, and 1,000 thanks go with you.
Yeah, I'm a great guy and all. What else do I have that she might want to buy? I wonder if I can sell her the very necklace she just gave me. Oh my god, I could. What an awful thing to do! Okay, I want to see if there's special dialogue for that, so I'm gonna save. The beads that she just gave me as a gift! What an awful thing to do! And I'm gonna horribly oversell them too!
Will you accept this much in trade?
She's perfectly willing to buy them!
This much in trade?
She's even cheaping out! She won't give me any...
This is all I can
She won't give me anything more than 5!
We are in agreement.
You
I accept your offer.
You cheap bastard! And why is whatever this is in quotes? Oh no! Help! This is like the first scene in porn. That's why it's a sarcastic cry for help. Boy, I've just invented in my mind, like, the worst porn plot ever. We're on the Titanic, it's going down. I'm ashamed of myself. And found ourselves in this horrible world. Boy, there's a face that only a mother could love right there. That is quite the thing. Let me touch it. Ah, yes. Let me touch it. Well, so much for here. If not there, then my next guess would be here. Sometimes by educated guess, I mean educated guess. Other times by educated guess, I mean unsure. What do you... Oh no! No! Not this minigame again! You glance down, you shiver for a moment, knowing that it's a long way down, and there is no net. Ugh. What a familiar minigame this is. This was bad enough as a minigame. I don't really need this crap as as part of the actual game. You drop the silver rattle into the baby cradle. As you do so, the crying of the baby ghost and the rocking of the baby cradle cease. You breathe a big sigh of relief. like that. It's now an empty cradle.
Apparently the rattle just vanished.
Excellent point. Suddenly you hear a terrible rattling of chains from downstairs. Could it be the ghost of Christmas future?
Yeah, exactly.
Hello!
Goodbye.
So maybe it's not that good, but it seems to be doing the... Game? Game? This is not what's gonna happen here. I hope you're enjoying Crashimon Vietnamese Crystal. Hey, I get... Oh, God. Okay, very handwritten. I need to give this my most respectful voice I can. Obviously still her voice, because it's her writing. But I'm going to try to do this in a very respectful way. Ghosts under the light, the tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. This is amazing! Oh my god, we're moving tiny... This is... I don't want to say anything. I just want to react to the glory of this. This is definitely getting us taken away by the police, but my god, is it glory. Well, let's see if we can have another extremely strange experience. I probably have time for, depending on how long the other endings take, as many as one more extremely strange experience today. Hello, this is Yahweasel, this is Radical Dreamers. We've beaten 3 out of 7 of the endings. I'm gonna say I will consider my success to be sufficient, but not necessarily everything I'll do, but sufficient if I can get 4 out of 7. If I can do more than 50%, then that's enough endings for me. I'll try to get more. I'm not gonna, just stop, but I'll feel, acceptable if I've gotten 4 out of 7. And if I've gotten 1, 3, 5, and 7, I'll feel even better, but that seems pretty unlikely. So definitely a lot of the choices right at the beginning sort of railroad you into particular paths. And, I mean, obviously, of course they do. So I'm actually going to try to choose some choices at the beginning that railroad me into a path I've already done, because I imagine there are things that separate a bit later. But I might also, completely fail. So, the first thing, let's not fall asleep, but also let's not, follow her out into the forest. Blah, 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 blah. We love to talk. It was a bit D&D-like, yeah, in just the sheer amount of, we've created all this lore, so let's pile up all of the lore all at once. Oh yeah, this nonsense. I went with, once you fall off the horse, it's hard to get back on. I am going to try to go with timeout. I'm going to give this a few seconds and see if it actually demands that I make a choice at all, because it's possible that it doesn't, and that timeout is a thing. But it's also possible not. No, I think it actually needs me to make a decision. Weirdly, the one that refers to flowers is not the one that railroaded me down the flowery path, but it's different from the one I did before. For example, lately it's been pouring down hard, but someday the sun's bound to start shining on me. It'll come someday, I'm sure of it. Yeah, likewise. For now, I'm just a small-time thief, Kid adds, but someday I'm gonna strike it rich, and then watch out. Oh no, don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't railroad me down this. Pay it no mind and insist we move on. I don't know, kids. This is Lynx's property. Who knows what kind of things are lurking around here at night? Huh. It's probably something valuable, no doubt, but oh well. Flame is more important. Puffing her cheeks, Kid returns to my side. Without even the moonlight to guide us, we proceed on through the thick forest, trying not to make a single sound. It's the world of the night, Kid's world. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same. Yep, okay, now we're about to encounter the cats. Seems someone wants to say hello. We haven't encountered the cats in a long time. They seem to be surveying the area. Feral cats. Last time I did a pretty poor job at this, so let me see if I can do a little bit better. Careful, mate. These buggers are probably rabid. Yep, thank you. What do we do? Defend thyself. No, attack. I slash viciously at a nearby cat. Startled, it leaps back with incredible reflexes. I stay my ground, not getting any closer to the beast. Yeah, that's right, Gavin. Something weird is happening and we're already on a particular quest. Let's go investigate. Hearing a howl, I know I've hit my mark. Licking its wounds, the animal recovers after a moment of pain. I ready my knife, waiting for the next chance to attack. Serge, behind you! Turn around to see that I'm now face to face with a pair of those ravenous yellow eyes! Defend thyself! Desperation, I raise my arms at a cross, guarding my face. Beast catapults onto me, throwing me down and pinning me to the ground. It's a feral cat! The term feral is not the same as wild. This is not like a cougar. This is a house cat that doesn't have a house. A house cat cannot throw you down and pin you to the ground. I don't care if it's a Maine Coon. I don't care if it's one of those Norwegian forest cats. No cat is large enough to throw you down and pin you to the ground. I scream from the bottom of my lungs. I feel the sharp jaws clamp down on my skin. The beast straddles my body. Its teeth are now sunken deeply into my arm, my blood staining its fur as it growls. The pain is unbearable. Chat is just talking about Serge's character. If he's a level 1 spellcaster in D&D 2.5, suggests Strixus, then yeah, this all makes sense. Yeah, we pretty much saw this the first time through. Whoa, what was that? Cat is hurled off me, thrown backwards by some incredible force. And given that it had its teeth in your throat, you know, a fair chunk of your flesh went with it, but whatever. Cowers in a heap away behind a tree with a gaping hole in its belly, roars helplessly. I look up to see Kid standing beside me, her knife dripping with blood. Squeezing the wound on my arm, I rise to my feet. Oh, it was on my arm. Then out of nowhere, Kid flashes me. Flashes across my field of vision. Yeah, this is pretty normal. Pretty much the same. Magil makes him explode a bit. Okay, I don't think I did any better than last time. So, this is probably going to go pretty similarly right now. I'm guessing that at some point some different path might be available. I'm just going to try to sort of watch out for it. So for the time being, I think fast motion. Zzz. You need not worry about me. Oh, this is a choice I haven't done anything on. Not yet, not just yet, alright? I need a minute. Quit whining, Serge, she says, glaring down at me coldly. You're always saying that. Mess up and I'm leaving you behind. Well, then what? You'd be alone, that's what. You never have any respect when talking to me. Wish I could say those thoughts to her, but... my heart, I let out a sigh. But not in reality. I look up to see that from behind me, she's already started to head off into the forest. Magil continues behind her without a hitch. I heard to catch up behind the two. In a place like this, getting separated would be a bad idea. Okay, that doesn't seem to have changed anything. Yep, we're gonna go get the frozen flame, but we will succeed. I might accidentally just redo ending 1. That would be unfortunate. Your days are numbered, Lynx. Okay, yep. Let's get in, please, thank you. Apologies to anybody who hasn't seen the earlier parts, since I am just skipping the parts I've already seen. The darkness engulfs me. Okay, so this faint light does still appear. The light that turns into what's-her-face, the apparition. I'm gonna try not to do that either, because I feel like that'll railroad me into that. So far, this looks all the same. Yep, this looks all the same. Technically, I haven't checked all of these options. Let's check the dresser drawers. I open up the dresser. All sorts of differently colored garments have been placed in the drawer. Frills, lace, and just about every color of lingerie. I wonder what kind of dress is this, Kid mutters, holding up a silk garment from the bottom of the drawer. Examining the dress, I can see she's fascinated with it. I've never worn anything like this before, she says, running her hands across the fine floral lace. She slides the dress down her shirt and pulls it up over her shoulders. After a moment or two of shuffling around, she undoes her shirt and I see her wearing nothing but the silk dress. Wow, that's impressive. She looks as graceful as a fairy with it on. What? Wow, look at me. I'm a lovely maid and not a scrap of rogage? I'm gonna go with rogage on me. None whatsoever. Oh, that's not me being sarcastic. None whatsoever. A perfect fit. Oh, that was me being sarcastic. I didn't believe myself. Ah, Serge, quit teasing, says Kid, blushing. Come on, let's go, she says after a while, putting her old clothes back on with a smile on her face. Okay, so that might have been pointless or might have changed something later on. Yep, all the same thus far. I remember you! Hey, this gives me an opportunity to ask really stupid questions of the Venus statue. It can talk! It's a mirror of whispers. What is it, though? It's a mirror of whispers. I just said that. Yep. Harbor the living spirit. Is there anything you wish to ask? Wow, a million questions come to mind, but only stupid ones. So let's ask about Kid. What in blazes are you asking about me for? Kid shouts with a red face. Very well, the statue's reflection says. Ignoring Kid, who's slapping and pulling me, I focus on the mirror. The reflection of the statue begins to ripple a little. Gradually, the mirror fades into darkness. Before long, the jet black surface of the mirror is filled with what looks like regiona. One by one, shadows of trees, houses, and people materialize. The mirror focuses in on a young woman, surrounded by small children. The children are dirty and poorly dressed, but they're all smiling and playing happily nonetheless. I mean, it is a break-in, but he's evil, so that makes it okay. Isn't that how it works, Joel? Then, abruptly, the building therein bursts into flames. Armed troops are all around. Everyone scrambles for a way out, but against her will, the young woman is abducted. That's the definition of abducted. You don't need against her will with abducted. If it wasn't against her will, not an abduction. The children, however, meet a much darker fate. Time passes. After the fire has burnt the building to the ground, the mirror shifts focus to a small girl covered in soot, crying beside the charred remains of her home. She lets loose a blood-curdling scream into the open sky as her right eye narrows like a cat's. Only her right eye, though. Stop! Kid shouts. I look back to the mirror, but the image has already started to fade. So, I think we're now on a different path than ending 1, because this suggests either she was an orphan and that was an orphanage, or there were many children, and the previous ending, like ending 1, suggested she had one sister, Luca. So I think that doing that might have been sufficient to put us onto a different path. Squeezing her hand into a fist, Kid slumps downwards. The room is silent. Kid, I'm sorry. Let's go, Kid says abruptly, heading towards the door. Wait for me, Kid, I shout as I chase after her. I don't know. Maybe I'm still on the same path. Maybe I'm not. Hard to know. We'll figure it out. Now, I feel like there's no purpose to the archway for the time being. All it did was sort of flood and make us unhappy. So I'm gonna go upstairs and just leave that. Basically, I want to do things differently just to see if I can get something different to happen. You know, I wanted to do things the same and then different, if you understand what I mean. Everything looks the same here. Yes, the portrait's looking at me. Kid sees it too. And then we leave. Okay, nothing there. Okay, what have we not examined? I don't think we ever examined just the desk. I walk over and open a drawer in the mahogany desk. The drawers contain writing materials and documents arranged in an orderly fashion. Unfortunately, they don't seem to contain anything worth mentioning. But then, a small picture in the drawer catches my eyes. It's a portrait of a friendly-looking girl with a faint smile on her face. I hold it up, wondering who it could be. Probably Link's adopted daughter, a kid says, looking over my shoulder with her nose crinkled. Pedophile. Faint gasp from behind me suddenly catches my attention. Turning around, I see Magil walking over to us with his eyes fixed firmly on the picture. I don't think I've ever seen him like this before. What is it, Magil? My question visibly startles Magil, but after a few moments, he returns to his usual wooden face. Nothing. His firm response doesn't leave much room for questioning. We're wasting valuable time. We should look elsewhere, Magil says abruptly, turning towards the door. Kid and I look at each other, perplexed. What's his problem? Don't ask me. Hey, Magil, wait up! I feel like I keep changing tiny things, and maybe something's different? I don't know. Yeah, then the old woman shows up. I think I've only answered the old woman in one particular way, so I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna try lying. I've always been honest with her. What an energetic young lady. You haven't come in, here this late in the evening to drop in on some friends, I'd imagine. Perhaps you have some score to settle with Master Lynx. In fact, since she showed up later... Play dumb. Lynx? Who's this Lynx bloke? Kid plays... Oh, I forced Kid to play dumb? Kid plays dumb with all her might. If I didn't know her better, I'd say she's quite a convincing actor. After all, she really isn't the kind of person who worries much about lying in the first place. Yeah, I skipped a bit of the text there, but this is a very disused clock mechanism here in the text. They're not supposed to be functioning. From what I've heard, Kid says, that bloke sounds like quite a character. I don't know anyone stupid enough to go up against someone like that. Ain't that right, huh? There's no need to try and deceive me, young lady. Are you calling me a liar? Well, all right then. I apologize if I was rude, but it's just Viper Manor has seen more than a few unwelcome guests over the years. Surely you can understand my apprehension. I hope the rest of your stay is an enjoyable one. Hissing those words, the old woman's figure melts into thin air, vanishing without a trace. Ma'am? Kid and I glance at each other. So... when I did ending 1, I was completely honest with her, and she, in the end, as it turns out, was not so honest with me and popped back up at the end of the game. Will something different happen because I wasn't honest with her? Who knows? This is all the same. Okay, this is another situation where I could make other choices. I'm gonna be an idiot and try and bust through the wall, because that's gonna work. So we'll get trapped here, and I don't think there's any choices before we're trapped. Yep. Then we're trapped, but then we had a choice of what to do at this point. And I've always chosen to try and bash the door. I imagine everything else kills you, but I'm going to try and break through the wall, which is an imbecilic thing to do. There has to be a way out of here. We start ramming against the walls, however the stone mesh holds tight. This isn't working. The ceiling's getting too close. Ah! A blade is sliced into my neck. What are we going to do? Try to stop the ceiling! We've got to stop the ceiling, I shout. How? I don't know. Shouldn't there be a secret release lever somewhere? That's weird. I usually pronounce it lever. We quickly search the floor and walls as the rumble of the dreaded ceiling gets louder and louder. We're gonna die. One of the blades sliced into my shoulder. There's no time to look for a lever. What are we gonna do? Bash the wall some more now that you have no room. There has to be a way out of it. Oh, this is the same, isn't it? Well, we're gonna die. Sliced into your neck. Okay, try to ram the door. Yep, fine. Okay, so those are just wrong decisions. They seem to, they seem to not work. Oh well, so much for that thought. Time for a battle! Look for a weak spot. That's a really easy battle. I've done that many times. We haven't actually seen this message because I've only gotten this hurt by the torture chamber. Kneeling down, I rest for a minute to tend to my wounds. Hey, no whining. You're not that bad, mate. I've seen worse hangovers than how you look right now. Wish I had her determination. After I finish applying my bandages, I get up, hoping I'll be okay. Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of cuts from the torture chamber, got hurt in no way by a skeleton, and now I decided, well, maybe I should bandage these wounds. I can't start to give up now, but boy, these cuts are really starting to hurt. Got a thing or two to learn, but you're getting there, mate. I wonder if you can just do enough battles that Kid, like, you know, feels differently about you because of your incredible battle prowess. Okay, let's have a bad time with fish. Yep, piranhas. And blood pours out of the fountain. Let's try to attack piranhas like an idiot. Let's get these things, I shout. Kid looks at me like I'm crazy. This ain't no joke, Serge. We're gonna get eaten alive unless you do something quick. He's right. Attacking those things head on is too difficult. They're far too fast to catch. Damn it, they're biting me. Help! Things are fast. What do I do? Okay, never mind. Head back to the entranceway. No, yes! Grab my knife and start making some sushi. Let's get these things, I shout. Oh, we're just in a loop. Okay, fine. Head back to the entranceway. Come on, we're outnumbered. Yeah, now I've noticed that. That was a close call. Now we're gonna find the Mouth of Truth. Now, I have no memory of what I had to put in the Mouth of Truth, and I feel like I had to put in something that we found. Let me go, you stupid fiends. I swear I'm gonna knock your teeth in, and that's true, so he lets her go. Da-da-da, Mouth of Truth. I have just no memory of what we had to give the Mouth of Truth. I think none of the things that she had... Yeah, I'm pretty sure we needed something new. Yeah, we definitely needed something new. Definitely. Definitely. I don't remember what it was, though! Let's grab the leather scroll, though. What's this? Secret ninja training techniques? Now this is, important. Give up. I don't really remember what I did next that actually caused something to happen. Hey, it's Riddell! Fair girl comes into view from out of a dark corner. Must have been my imagination, she says, apparently not yet aware of us. We're here with... What an absurd lie! We're here because of the invitation in the newspaper. Ah, you're just in time, she replies without question, nervously playing along with my lie. Kid subtly jabs me in the side. Why do you always have to be telling those clumsy lies? Yeah, really. Staring at the two of us, she backs away in fright. Who are you people? She says, unable to mask her increasing fear. Magil steps in and speaks in a comforting tone. I apologize on behalf of my party if we startled you. We intend no harm, my lady. Despite his persuasiveness, the girl seems to remain unconvinced and starts to panic. Stop, thieves! Don't come any closer! This is hopeless. Yeah, tie her up and gag her. I move over to the bed and start to pull off the sheets. Kid comes over and helps, saying, "Why don't you say we toss her in the dresser?" Magil approaches us and grabs the sheets out of our hands before we can make our move. With a look of pity in his eyes, he looks back towards the girl. She seems shocked at this turn of events, to say the least, not knowing what to think. Well, my interaction with her is going to be very different than it was last time, and that's all I'm trying to do. Sorry, Magil, I was only trying to do what's best, I say, ashamed. However, before Magil can respond, the girl takes a breath and turns to us to speak. Magil? You're Magil? Did you once go by the name Gilbert? Hearing that name, Magil takes on a look of shock. I think this is new. Riddell? Is that you? He says in a surprisingly vulnerable tone. This is new. Gilbert, it's really you. My dear, dear Gilbert, she says, taking his hand. Gilbert, what the? I have worried about you ever so much, he says in a deeply sentimental voice. Kid, suddenly tinged with anxiety, interrupts the two. Hey, lovebird, we're here for the frozen flame, not damsels in distress, remember? The frozen flame, asks Riddell, bewildered. Oh, yes. These are my companions, Magil says in his usual dry tone a moment later. Kit and I glance at each other. This evening is a blessing. This evening is a blessing bequeathed to us by that shimmering red jewel's fate, Magil says to Riddell. Oh, brother, all this girl stuff is starting to unravel him. Kit's starting to get agitated, however. I've got a feeling there are a few that there are a few things that could keep her from getting the frozen... That there are a few things. Really changes the meaning of that sentence. There are a few things that could keep her from getting the frozen flame tonight, and none of them wear high heels. What? There was no suggestion that she was wearing high heels, and also, she's in her bedroom. Why would she be wearing high heels? I just really like back pain, so I wear them all the time. Despite her increasing impatience with the situation, Magil goes on and on. Ever since my childhood, I've thought of you. My heart has yearned ever so madly only for you. Oh, Gilbert, it is true, my dear Riddell, therefore... About the promise. Suddenly, Riddell turns away from Magil. Promise? She asks in a voice so quiet it's almost inaudible. Yes, my dear. Surely you haven't forgotten our secret promise. The one we made to each other on that beautiful day in the garden. You have not forgotten the vows of marriage we bestowed on one another, have you? Okay, I can't read any more of this. For next time, and thanks for watching. If you liked the video, tell me what other obscure games you'd like to see me play in the comments below. Cheers from Yahweasel. I think that will be it for now. But I have definitely found a different path. This is not what was happening before. This is very different. Well, thank you all for watching. This has been a interesting experience. Much plot has happened. Much plot. So, if you want to see more of this Chol, you can watch the videos as they come out, or next week I'll be streaming again, same time. And that obviously applies to anybody else, but, you know, I usually talk to the people who talk. So, thank you for watching. Cheers. Goodbye.